by a chorus of boos here in Toronto as he leads it off. Garr in spring training wound up hitting .290, 2 homers and 6 RBIs. Here is the first pitch ever of a baseball game in the American League in Canada. It's a ball strike.
You know why it's the first pitch Garr took off spring? It's because they want to put that in the Hall of Fame up here. It's the first ball ever thrown.
First ball will be taken to the Canadian Sports Hall of Fame.
The first ball will be taken to the Canadian Sports Hall of Fame. Here's Bill Singer's second delivery. Swing and a miss. Just got a piece of it, actually. Boy, I'll tell you, with these white home uniforms, you almost can't see the Toronto outfielders in the snow.
I'm froze.
Right-hander goes into the windup. Here's the 2-strike pitch. Outside a ball. Defensively, Doug Ault at first. Pedro Garcia is at second. Hector Torres at short. And Dave McKay at third. And now the trainer comes running out and gives a scraper to the pitcher, Bill Singer. Apparently a little of that moisture got on the mound. He's got some mud in his cleats.
And Roy Hartsfield just came out and asked Nestor if it was okay if they kept it out there. The scraper.
In the outfield, John Scott in left, Gary Woods in center field. And in right field, Steve Bowling. Here's the pitch. Hits the plate and goes back to the screen. Evens the count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The snow has stopped. Here's the pitch. Off the catcher's mask, and the count goes full. Off his chest protector, I should say, and it goes full now. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Garr will be followed by Alan Bannister and Jorge Orta. Well, I'll tell you, we got a middle of this lineup. Orta, Zisk, Spencer, and Gamble. Then when he's not playing, Lamar Johnson. We could put some people on base.
We don't have any lambs in there right now, so they got to be careful. You got to get your good stuff over.
Jim Essien warming up Ken Brett. Now Brian Downing trotting down towards the bullpen after Dave McKay goes out to the mound to talk to Singer. The count is full. Right-hander in the windup. Here's the pitch. Up high and outside a ball. Looked like he might have slipped, Jim.
Can you imagine Garr going to base on balls? Everybody wants him to walk. He just showed it. It's a new year.
Ralph Garr does not walk often. And the batter is Alan Bannister. Hit .221 in the spring. No homers and 6 RBIs. White Sox as a team hit .272 down in the spring training. That's not bad. I'll settle for that for the year.
And we've been bunting a lot, and I would have to feel as the way the weather is today, we want to get a run as quick as possible. He might be bunting right here. Bannister really looking down now. He wasn't too sure whether the hit and run was on, I guess.
Singer working out of the stretch. Garr with the lead off of first, not going. The pitch inside a ball. So after getting out in front of Ralph Garr, 0-2, Singer now has missed on 5 consecutive pitches. Here's a toss over to first, and Garr that time was just a step off the bag. A year ago, Singer beat the White Sox 2 times and lost once. Right-hander delivers. Here's the pitch. Half swing and a foul into the seats. The first foul ball. And the fans all excited about that.
Got to first everything.
A ball and a strike.
You know, if Bannister would drag a bunt right now, the third baseman McKay is really back.
1 ball and 1 strike. Garr with the lead. We're in the first if you just joined us. Right-hander delivers a fastball low. 2 balls and a strike. Lifetime, Singer has won 6 and lost 5 against the White Sox. He was 4-1 at Texas last year, and then got traded. None other than Bert Blyleven. Guy's a walking medical encyclopedia. If anything can go wrong with you, it's gone wrong with him. Here's a toss over to first, runner back in time. Outfield playing Bannister straight away. Here's the pitch, high and inside with a fastball. Misses 3-1. Now Cerone out in front of the plate yells something out to Singer.
Last time Singer worked was April 4th, I guess, and he only worked 1 inning. Didn't have much of a spring, so he's showing why he's a little wild.
3 balls and a strike. Runner at first, nobody out. We're in the first inning in Toronto. There goes the runner. Here's the pitch. Called strike in the inside corner. Throw to second. He is safe as the ball gets away from the second baseman. Now Garr's trying to go to third. Here's the throw, and he slides in safely. Garcia did not see the ball because of the snow. It hit the base and went out, and he completely lost it, Jimmy.
He lost it, and then he couldn't pick it up and get his footing. He slipped all over the place. It wasn't that far. Uh-oh.
And Garr is hurt. He slid into third.
He hurt his shin or his ankle.
Charlie Sad is down there with him. Bob Lemon comes out now. Well, last time I remember you being on the air with us, he hurt himself sliding into second because he's hesitant on whether he should slide or shouldn't. And I know you talked to him about it this spring.
Yeah, but he slid quite a ways. You can see his marks. But it's kind of dangerous out there right now. He just slid right into the bag, full force. He knew he had to get there in a hurry. And when he slid, he just got too close to the bag.
Hopefully he'll be all right. So it'll be a stolen base and an error on the catcher. We presume.
Yeah, we had some fun. The guy said, no, don't get on me this spring.
So a runner at third. And the board has the count 3-1, but that was a called strike. It's a 3-2 count. Singer had a 6.60 earned run average. Here's a swing of a fly ball to right field. Coming over is the right fielder. He has it. Here's the throw into the infield, and Garr holds the third. Good throw by Steve Bowling, the right fielder. I tell you, that would have been a close play at the plate. The ball was in front of the plate to the right side. But Bobby Knopp held up Ralph Garr, and I think partially because of the fact that he just came up with that ankle injury.
And there's nobody out, and all we have to do is hit a ground ball somewhere in the infield. Everybody's playing back to get this run in. That ball was not hit too far.
So there's one out, and Jorge Orta steps in. Orta back at his second base spot. Time is called momentarily by Ralph Garr. Orta hit .338 with a homer and 10 RBIs in the spring. Infield playing in now with one out. Trying to cut that run off at the plate. Here's a pitch. Here's a swing and a fly ball to center field. Gary Woods is there. Garr is tagging up. He's got it. Here goes the runner headed for the plate. Here's the throw in, and it's not cut off, but Garr is about 5 feet in front, and he goes rushing into Richie Zisk. Zisk was waiting to tell him whether to slide or not, and the White Sox have scored the first run in Canada in American League history.
That's a good break for us to get off in front. Make this club come from behind if they're going to win this ball game. We can score runs, and Zisk now coming to the plate is really the guy that can hit one out of here.
Number 22.
Richie Zisk, a welcome addition to the White Sox. Richie hit .333 in the spring with a homer and 5 RBIs. And a great producer for the Pirates over the years. Takes a look at the ball. Last year, he tied the Pirates for the lead in home runs with 21, in hits with 168, and was only 1 RBI away from being the RBI leader with 89 as he takes a look at ball 2 down low. And he also led the club in doubles with 35, and he led the Pirates in game-winning RBIs the last 3 years. Steve Stone told me, Jimmy, he worried about 2 guys on the Pirates, Richie Zisk and Al Oliver.
No question, this guy has great bat control.
Right-hander delivers the 2-0 pitch. Here's a swing and a long drive to center field. Going way back is Woods. This ball might get out of here. It is gone! A home run! Richie Zisk in his first American League time at bat puts it straight over the fence in center field, and it's a 2-0 ball game.
How about that?
Welcome to the American League, Richie Zisk.
He's my kind of player, I'll tell you that right now. He's going to ask for the ball, I think.
So the Polish Prince gives the White Sox a 2-0 lead.
You know, he hit that ball dead center, and it was still going, went over the center field fence. The fence beyond the inside fence.
So it's a 2-0 ball game, and Jim Spencer's the batter. It was hard to tell whether Woods would catch up with it or not. He drifted back as if he had a play, but it had no problem getting over that 12-foot fence that extends from the left field corner around to the right field corner.
As of now, I'm glad we're playing.
Spencer hit .300 in the spring, 4 homers and 9 RBIs. Here's a swing and a bouncer. It's going to get through a base hit. Just to the right of second base. Spencer makes the turn at first and will go back. So the White Sox, with their second hit of the inning, have a runner at first and Oscar Gamble the batter.
Spencer getting jammed right on the fist, but that AstroTurf, the ball just skidded right off the wet portion of it, or right out in the center field, because he did not hit that ball good at all.
Oscar Gamble just over to the White Sox in the Bucky Dent deal. A left-handed hitter. Oscar had 17 home runs for the Yankees a year ago. Here's the pitch, called strike off the outside corner.
See, Springer getting behind has gotten himself in trouble. He has to pitch like he just pitched to Gamble on the outside corner and down.
Gamble has not played a lot in the spring. He had some flu problems, and here's a pitch low ball.
Isn't it amazing? Every time a new player joins the club, right away he's in the lineup. I hope he has a super day for it.
Well, they didn't know whether he was going to make it or not. He had given indications that he was going to go home and quit the game, but he is here today in uniform and playing. We're in the first inning, the White Sox out in front, 2-0. A 1-1 count on the batter. Runner at first and 2 down. Right-hander delivers. Here's the pitch up high, a ball. 2-1.
Gamble, his luggage was lost, and he was worried about his gloves. They say, well, you don't need your glove over here.
Just bring your bat. 2 balls and a strike. Spencer with the lead off at first. Here's the pitch outside a ball. The White Sox and the Blue Jays will have Good Friday off tomorrow, and then resume action Saturday and Sunday. 3 balls and a strike to the batter. Here's a toss over to first. Spencer back in time. Chris Knapp will be going for the White Sox tomorrow. Youngster really looked good in spring training, especially his last outing. Here's a pitch outside a ball. He walked him. That's the second walk in the inning given up by Singer. And we're going to have some activity down in the Toronto bullpen. Might be Pete Vukovich. Looks a little like Pete as he's trotting down there. Has his warm-up jacket on. We'll have to wait and see.
Singer throwing much better than he did the first 3 hitters, but as I said before, he's trying to hit the corners and not pitching too much this spring. He's having his troubles. And they go longer with a veteran like him. Perry was pitching, gets maybe 5 runs in the second inning, but he'd still be in there because they always figured he'd come back.
Well, we talked about the strength with Orta, Zisk, Spencer, and then Gamble. And we neglected to mention this fellow, Eric Soderholm. 308 hitter in the spring, 2 homers and 10 RBIs. Another welcome addition to the Chicago White Sox.
Number 12, the third baseman, Eric
Soderholm had his best year in 1975, hit 286, 11 homers and 58 RBIs. Takes the first pitch for a ball. At one time during that year, he was on a hot streak, hitting 349 and had 7 homers, and then unfortunately he was injured. I'll tell you about that in a second. Singer out of the stretch. Here's the pitch. Look at him is. He accidentally fell into a hole at a construction site, fractured 2 ribs, and was out the rest of the year and had cartilage damage in his left knee. So he did not play at all last year for Minnesota, and thus, in effect, played out his option. A swing and a miss and a fastball. And the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. Jim Spencer down at second base. Oscar Gamble at first. On a cold afternoon in Toronto, Canada. Right-hander ready. Here's the pitch. Here's a swing and a shot down the left field line. It is a foul ball. And it bounces up into the seats.
The last 3 pitches of Soderholm have all been breaking balls and high. So Singer's been lucky to get away with them. And that ball, if it was fair, would have been scored a couple of runs.
So the count remains the same. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Johnson warming up in the bullpen, a right-hander. Here's the pitch. Here's a swing and a bouncer to the shortstop, Torres. He's got it. Goes to second to Garcia for the 4th out on Gamble, and that retires the side. But here in the first inning, the Chicago White Sox come up with 2 runs on 2 hits. There was 1 error and 2 men left down. We're at the end of a half inning of play. The White Sox 2, the Blue Jays coming to bat.
I got it, I got it, I got it, it's there.
Louise, hi, Mom. How are my favorite quintuplets? Fine. We're going shopping, right, girls? Right. Adorable. When you've got a lot to buy, shop there. Now through Saturday, for instance, girls' 10-pack panties are just $3.99, and Mrs. 10-packs are $3.99 and $4.99. My, it must be hard shopping for quintuplets these days. No, I just get 5 of everything. As for selection, Zare has assorted prints and solids for girls, bikini, hip huggers, or briefs for misses, all for great prices. But dear, how do you buy clothes? We get a bank loan. So come to Zare. Now through Saturday, girls' 10-pack panties are just $3.99. Mrs. 10-packs are $3.99 and $4.99. You can charge everything, and you'll save, no matter how many packs you need. We've got to go, Mom. Okay. Bye, dear. Bye. Give my love to the twins.
Compare. You can't do better than Zare.
in Toronto with Jimmy Pearsall as we go to the bottom of the first inning. Ken Brett getting ready to get in his warm-up tosses. They're putting some dirt around the mound and the home plate area. And as they do, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification.
This is WMAQ Chicago.
Getting into his warm-up tosses with Brian Downey. Let's take a look at the Chicago White Sox defense. Jim Spencer's at first base. Jorge Orta's at second. Alan Bannister's at shortstop. And Eric Soderholm's at third. Brian Downing doing the catching. While in the outfield, Ralph Garr in left field, Chet Lemon in center, and Richie Zisk in right. On the mound, Ken Brett. He won 10 and lost 12 last year with an earned run average of 3.32. Brett this spring won 1 and lost 3 with an earned run average of 5.67. He had a great outing about a week ago against the Pirates, and then so-so in his last outing. But I don't think where it counts.
I don't think he can motivate himself. He's the type of guy that has got to be pitching the regular season. He just can't seem to reach back and fire hard. I talked to him before the game and asked him how he felt about just opening up. He was thrilled to death. You know, he's a loosey-goosey guy, and he'll give you a quick answer if you give him a bad question.
All those Virgos are.
Those Virgos are. And I got to believe he'll pitch a fine ball game.
Well, Brett won shutouts in 3 of his first 4 ball games that he pitched for the White Sox last year. His 10 victories was high on the Sox staff, and he also taught 16 complete games in 26. And he had the best earned run average among the White Sox starters with 328. Johnny Scott leads it off, the left fielder, played in Hawaii last year where he hit .315, 15 homers and 82 RBIs.
He's the only guy in this ball club that can steal bases, so he's got to be very careful when he's on base.
He's a right-handed hitter. Jackie Moore in the coach's box at third. He was with the Texas Rangers last year, and Harry Warner coaching at first. Left-hander delivers, and it's a fastball for a strike. Bob Miller, who was a first-round draft choice by the New York Mets in the expansion a few years back, is the pitching coach on this club. Here's the one-strike delivery. Goes after a breaking pitch and fouls it off. It is in the hole 0-2. Well, Roy Hartsfield, the Blue Jay manager, looking to go with youth on this club, also speed. He's a gambling type of manager, and he figures with good pitching and speed and this artificial surface, he's going to win some ball games. Exhibition Stadium is the proper name for this ballpark. Here's a fastball low, just missed in the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Outfield playing the batter around to the left. Left-hander ready. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Inside a ball. Well, the announcers for Toronto, young man by the name of Tom Cheek. And the color announcer, one of Chicago's all-time favorite athletes, Early Wynn.
Early won his 300th game when he was pitching for Chicago, didn't he?
I'm not sure that it was with the White Sox.
Yeah, I think he was 43.
Yeah, it took him a long time to get that 300th. 2 balls and 2 strikes as Brett goes into the windup and delivers a swing and a miss. He struck him out. So Ken Brett strikes out the first man that he faces, and there's 1 out in the first inning. Bob Lemon was telling me, he told Wynn, why don't you quit? Not too many guys have 299 wins.
That's right. You know, Brett really threw a good breaking ball, one of the better breaking balls we've seen him throw all spring.
The shortstop, Hector Torres.
Hector Torres.
Torres came over here for Lowenstein, didn't he?
Yeah, from Cleveland. Well, he went to San Diego, then to Cleveland, then for Lowenstein. He hit 195 at San Diego last year. Looks at the first pitch for a ball. 4 homers, 15 RBIs, and a called strike in the outside corner. The snow has stopped, hopefully for good, this winter in Toronto. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Here's a swing and a foul going back into the seat.
We have a break. The wind isn't blowing at all. It's very still now, or blowing out because we aren't feeling it.
It's very difficult to tell here about the wind. Oh, now I see a small flag to our right. But the national banners for these 2 countries are out in center field. Here's a swing and a miss. He struck him out. So Ken Brett has struck out the first 2 men that he has faced. And the batter is Doug Ault. And Jimmy Jerry will tell you about him in a moment. At Sacramento last year, he hit .313, 25 homers, and 83 RBIs. Went up with the Texas Rangers, hit .300, and I was totally impressed with the young man, Jimmy.
He's a self-made young man. By that, he didn't have too much ability. He weighed about 30 pounds more than he does now when he was an A-ball, and just worked so hard with desire. Doesn't run too well, but here he is in the big leagues because he can hit the ball.
Here's the first pitch to him, and it's way outside of ball. One of the problems he had is the fact that Mike Hargrove, a Rookie of the Year of a couple of years ago, was at first base. He a little better defensively at first, you think, than Hargrove?
I would say so, yes. A lot better.
Left-hander ready. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball for a strike. Good curveball. Count is even up 1-1.
Wondering if the fans, the pressure gets to these fellas that haven't been in the big leagues at all. Whether this excitement and all this will make them swing at bad pitches.
Left-hander ready. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Here's a swing and a long drive. This ball's going to be out of here. A home run into the left center field seat. And a standing ovation for Doug Ault. And it's a 2-1 ball game. Listen to this crowd. Major League home run in Canada after Richie Zisk had hit the first in this country in an American League uniform in the first inning. So it's a 2-1 ball game. So Brett on a 1-1 pitch looked like he might have hung a curve, Jimmy.
That's what it was.
And the first pitch to Otto Velez, formerly of the Yankees, is a called strike. Velez hit .266, 2 homers, 10 RBIs for the Yankees a year ago. Here's a fastball, misses outside of ball.
What a big swing he has. He just holds that bat back up over his head. No matter where the pitch is, he just lets it go.
Left-hander in the windup. Here's the 1-1 pitch, inside of ball. Well, you know, we were talking before the game. You said the ball really wasn't carrying in batting practice, but with that wind subsiding, no snow, it has gotten out of here. And right now, the wind going from home plate to center field. Here's a swing and a long fly ball, right center field. Lemon is back near the warning track, and he's got it right on the warning track. That ball came within 5 feet of getting out of here in right center field. And that retires the side in the first inning. For Toronto, 1 run on 1 hit. Doug Ault's first home run of the year, and nobody left on. We're at the end of 1 inning of play. The Chicago White Sox 2, Toronto 1.
Here's something you ought to know. The fresher your spark plugs, the better your car's mileage. It's just that simple. The folks at Champion tested cars like yours all across the country. They found that replacing worn plugs with a fresh set of Champion spark plugs can improve your mileage and performance. So if that sounds good to you, fill her up with Champions, the world's #1 seller. Fill her up. Fill her up. Fill her up with Champions. Fill up the old. What is the new? Fill her up with Champions. Fill up the old. What is the new? Fill her up with Champions. Fill her up with Champions. Fill her up with Champions.
Lauren Brown back in Toronto, and they just introduced the Commissioner of Baseball, Bowie Kuhn, and the Toronto crowd booed him. You'd think he was in the States. And the president of the American League, Lee McKay, who gets the big hand. Well, the American League wanted to come into Toronto, whereas the National League did not. And you may recall, Bowie Kuhn says no one's going anywhere until a team gets to Washington. But Lee McPhail and the other American League owners said, no, we're going to Toronto, whether you like it or not. They had to get another team with Seattle to avoid that lawsuit, so here they are. Chet Lemon will lead it off here in the second inning for the White Sox. White Sox out in front 2-1. The first pitch by Singer's a fastball. White Sox with 2 runs on 2 hits. The Blue Jays, 1 run on 1 hit. We've already had 2 home runs. Here's a swing and a grounder to Garcia at second. He's got it. Throws over to first in time, and Lemon's retired. Well, there's 1 out, and Brian Downey, the batter. We failed to tell you that during the spring, Lemon hit .281 with a homer and 7 RBIs. Brian Downing had a pretty good swing at the plate. Brian hit .346 with a homer and 8 RBIs. Last night, the American League season opened up at Seattle. Here's the first pitch, a fastball high, ball 1. Frank Tanana shut out Seattle on 9 hits, 7-0. Right-hander goes into the windup. Here's the 1-0 pitch, a swing and a miss. They reported the crowd at 57,732. I know in the Washington paper this morning when I was coming in from after doing the Bulls Bullets game last night from Washington. Here's a pitch. Here's a swing and a foul. They reported, and apparently they did here too on a wire service story, that was the biggest home opener in the history of the American League. But Jack Brohammer mentioned to me that Cleveland against the Tigers had around 73,000 just a few years ago, and wanted me to pass that on and set the record straight. He said he knew it because he played in the ball game. A ball and 2 strikes to Downing. Nobody on, 1 out. Outfield playing him around the hair to the left. Right-hander ready. Here's the pitch. Up high, a ball. Evens the count 2-2. Outstanding crowd on hand considering the weather conditions. They sold 44,000 tickets, and I think they're all here. Right-hander ready. The 2-2 pitch. Here's a swing and a pop-up to the left side, carrying on into the seat. And we still wait for the first man to catch it on the fly. Nobody wants to grab that ball. It is cold. And there's going to be hockey here tonight. We're going to run out and see the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Pittsburgh Penguins in the second game of their first-round series for the Stanley Cup. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Here's a swing and a foul. Straight back, and the count remains the same. This is the first round of playoffs in the Stanley Cup. Dan Hozak, our engineer, also handles the controls for Jimmy West and Lou Angotti on the Blackhawk games here on MAQ. Here's a half swing and a looper behind the mound. Shortstop charges, throws, not in time. A half swing by Downing that just got over the head of the pitcher. The shortstop Torres came in, threw but too late, and Downing is on with an infield hit. But Dan Hozak handles the engineering on the Chicago Blackhawk broadcast. Jimmy West, Lou Angotti, and they were telling Jimmy or Dan when they came through Toronto last time, there was no way the White Sox and Toronto were going to play baseball here today. That was about a month and a half ago they predicted that, so the Ontarians and the Blackhawks were wrong. There is baseball here in Toronto. The batter, Ralph Garr, tossed over to first, and Downing dives back in. Garr walked his first time up and came around to score the first White Sox run of the ball game. He stole second, went to third on an error, and came home on Orta's fly ball. Here's the pitch, outside of all. Just missed on the corner. Lester Shylock calling balls and strikes. Joe Brinkman down at first, Rich Garcia at second, and Steve Palermo working third. Here's a toss to first, and the runner back. On our ticker, instead of baseball scores, we're getting stock market reports. So we can't tell you what's going on elsewhere in baseball today. The Cubs are opening up at home against the Mets. Seaver against Burris. St. Louis is at Pittsburgh this afternoon, and San Francisco's at Los Angeles. 3 games in the National League. Right-hander ready, runner off the bag at first. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Outside of all, 2-0. In the American League, Kansas City is at Detroit. Spidorf going against Roberts. Texas is at Baltimore. Blyleven is going against Palmer. And you realize in that game at Baltimore, it'll mark the first time in 21 years that Brooks Robinson is not starting at third base. Just amazing that you've been around 21 years. Doesn't seem that long. Here's the next pitch and a called strike as Guard takes on a 2-0 pitch. Milwaukee's at New York, Travers against Hunter. Cleveland's at Boston, Eckersley against Jenkins. And tonight, California at Seattle again, Ryan going against Romo. Here's the 2-1 delivery way outside of all, 3-1. Alan Bannister in the on-deck circle, and the snow flurries have resumed. Three balls and a strike. Singer tosses over to first, Downing back in time. The White Sox are out in front if you just joined us. If you've been with us all the way, they're still out in front 2-1. The right-hander tosses again over to first, and Downing dives back again. Well, the White White Sox will be home on Tuesday. A special festivities dedicated to the memory of the late Mayor Richard Daley. And a call strikes to Garr right across the letters. Garr was ready to go down to first base, and the count is full 3-2. Game time opening day, 1:15 against the Red Sox. Pre-game festivities starting at 12:45. And the first 10,000 fans will receive a replica baseball made out of styrofoam. Here's a toss over to first, and Downing just got back in time. Anticipating that Bryan would be off on the 3-2 pitch, Singer went over there again for about the 5th time. Right-hander ready. Another toss to first, he's back again. So the first 10,000, along with the Daley family, will have an opportunity to throw out the first pitch on opening day against the Boston Red Sox. Here's a swing and a grounder to the third baseman, McKay. Can't go to second, throws the first, in the dirt, kicked away. Brian Downing will go to third, and the White Sox have runners at first and third. Downing was off with the pitch. McKay had no chance to get him at second. Threw low to Doug Ault at first. It got beyond him. Not far enough to allow Garr to go, but enough to allow Brian Downing to scoot over to third. So that's the second error of the ball game against Toronto.
Number 7, the shortstop, Alan Bannister.
And the batter is Alan Bannister, who flied out to right field his first time up. So the White Sox with a chance to add another run here. A runner at third and less than 2 outs. Only one. Right-hander working out of the stretch, and the first pitch to Bannister is a fastball outside. Alan Bannister, a very happy young man. A number 1 draft choice twice in his career as a shortstop out of high school. He did not sign. Then he went to Arizona State, and he was the number 1 draft choice. But he's really never had the opportunity to play every day as a big league shortstop. And now that opportunity has been given to him. He has a little heat on his back due to the fact that Kevin Bell is working out at that position with the minor league club at Iowa. Right-hander ready. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Here's a swing and a shot, a base hit into left field. Alan Bannister drives home the third run as Downing crosses the plate, and Ralph Garr holds up at second. So Bannister with his first RBI of the year. The air really set it up, because if that not happened, Downing would have had to hold at second, and I don't believe he would have been able to score on that base hit. And we're going to have activity in the Toronto bullpen again. So the White Sox back to their 2-run lead. It's a 3-1 ball game. And Jorge Orta, who drove in to run his first time up, is the batter with a sacrifice fly back in the first inning. Infield, a double play depth. Right-hander delivers, and it's a breaking pitch for a strike in the outside corner. So the Red Sox will be in Chicago Tuesday and Wednesday. Singer bends down on his knees with his hands on his knees, getting the sign. Now he's ready. Here's the pitch. Fastball called. Strike 2. Orta steps out of the box. Richie Zisk, who pumped a home run into the center field seats his first time up as a member of the White Sox, awaits in the on-deck circle. Right-hander ready. Here's the pitch. Here's a swing and a pop-up coming off towards the stands. It'll be out of play and into the seats. And the count remains the same. No balls and 2 strikes. Well, these Toronto Blue Jays will be in Chicago next weekend. It'll be the first time that a Canadian baseball team has played at Comiskey Park. And in commemoration and a salute to Canada over those 3 days, many special events, including a free trip to Toronto for lucky fans and colorful ceremonies on the field. There's a swing and a miss. Orta just struck out. That's the first strikeout by Singer, and now there are 2 down, and Richie Zisk the batter.
Number 22, the right.
Also,
Richie Zisk.
when Toronto comes in on Friday night, medallions, a Canadian maple leaf will be given away, a maple leaf pin to the first 10,000 people through the turnstiles. Here's the pitch to Zisk. Here's a swing and a drive down the left side. It is a fair ball. 1 man is around to score. Here comes another man to third, and he's going to be held up. And Richie Zisk goes in with a run-producing double. Boy, I'll tell you, he doesn't waste any time. He went after that first pitch and doubled off the left field wall. And the White Sox are out in front 4-1. Moore came home to score, and Bannister held up at third. So Zisk 2 for 2 and 2 RBIs.
Number 3, the first baseman, Jim Spencer.
Jim Spencer, who singled up the middle his last time up, as the batter. A base hit here could give the White Sox a couple more runs. Singer leans in and gets his sign. Jerry Johnson, a right-hander, continues to warm up in the Toronto bullpen. Right-hander delivers. Here's a pitch called strike. Singer was 2-1 against the White Sox a year ago. As I recall, he was a lot tougher than that against us. The White Sox out in front. Right-hander is ready. Here's the pitch. Low, a ball. Evens the count up at 1-1. Chris Knapp will be going for the White Sox out here Friday. Right-hander ready. Here's the pitch. Here's a swing and a foul to Minnie Minoso in the coach's box at first. He bobbles it. Well, a year ago, the White Sox won their home opener 4-0 over Kansas City. Wilbur Wood was sensational, a 6-hit shutout. And this man, Jim Spencer, was the offensive star, a 2-run homer, a pair of singles, a walk, a sacrifice bunt, and 3 RBIs. I'll tell you about that opening day lineup a year ago and compare it to today. Here's the 1-2 pitch, a swing and a foul. Chet Lemon was in center field. He is today. Ralph Garr was in left field. He is today. Jorge Orta was at third. He's at second today. Cleon Jones was the designated hitter. He's gone. Buddy Bradford was in right field. Buddy's playing in Japan now. Jim Spencer was at first. He still is. Bucky Dent at short. And Bucky's with the Yankees. Jack Brohammer was at second. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Here's a swing and a one-hopper right back to the mound. Singer has it, throws to first, and the Blue Jays are out of the inning here in the second. In the second, the White Sox come up with 2 runs on 3 hits, 1 error, and 2 men left down. The Sox have stranded 4 in the first 2 innings. We go to the bottom of the second. The White Sox 4, the Blue Jays 1.
This is WMAQ Chicago. Say we're having cash call winners all over Chicagoland, we mean it.
WMAQ, come make me rich.
Good morning. This is Lee Sherwood calling from WMAQ. And you've just won 2 brand new cars and $3,000 in cash. Congratulations.
No kidding.
No kidding.
Another cash call is coming soon. Another reason to answer every phone call.
Who am I talking to?
WMAQ is going to make me rich.
Back in Toronto, Canada, as we go to the bottom of the second. Ken Brett with a 3-run lead here will face the number 5, 6, and 7 hitters for the Maple Leafs, the Blue Jays, Gary Wood, Steve Bowling, and Pete Garcia. We're talking about that opening lineup of a year ago opposed to today. Bucky Dent, as we mentioned, was at short, and Bucky's now with the Yankees. Jack Brohammer was at second. Jack is still with the ball club, but not in the starting lineup. And Pete Varney did the catching. Pete now with the Atlanta Braves AAA Farm Club. Well, most of the snow has gone off the field. A little bit of a breeze that we've had has blown it off, but yet there's still some flurries here in Toronto. Gary Woods leads it off. He played at Tucson last year, the Oakland Athletics AAA club, where he hit .308, 8 homers and 67 RBIs. Swings and fouls one. Down the right side, 1 strike in the batter. Woods a good-looking prospect. Left-hander ready. Here's the 1-strike pitch, outside a ball. White Sox with 2 runs in the first and 2 in the second here on a very chilly afternoon in Toronto, Canada. Here's the 1-1 pitch, outside ball 2. They got 2 Woods on this team, Gary Woods and Al Woods. Gary who's batting now, came up with Oakland, played in 6 games last year, hit 125. Here's the 2-1 pitch, punch to the right side. Brett off the mound. Spencer has it, dives and misses him, a base hit. Spencer jumped in front of Brett, caught the ball and dove, trying to get Woods. And he just missed him, and it's an infield hit. So a runner at first and nobody out, and Steve Bowling, the batter, played at Spokane last year for the Milwaukee Braves organization. Hit .266, 16 homers and 92 RBIs. A lot of these kids have very impressive statistics out of the Pacific Coast League, which is not considered a hitter's league. Brett out of the stretch for the first time today. Here's a swing and a foul. Oh, that's got a sting as it went off of him here in this cold weather. Bowling was Spokane's most valuable player last year. Out of Tulsa University. Played in 14 games for the Milwaukee Brewers at 167. Outfielder, plays the right-handed hitter around to the left. Big gap in right center. We've had 2 home runs today, Richie Zisk and Doug Ault. And a breaking pitch for a strike. Good curveball. Bowling in the hole 0-2. Pedro Garcia in the on-deck circle. Ken Brett ready. Here's the 2-strike delivery. A swing and a foul into the seats. Well, I tell you, they don't have a screen around the ballpark. They have one directly behind home plate, and those balls whistle into the seats here. Well, our partner, Harry Carey, will be coming along in a moment. Here's the 2-strike pitch, missed with a breaking ball. Ball 1. I'm sure is very pleased to be doing this game today, and thus holds the distinction of being the only announcer, whether it be American or Canadian, to announce 2 openers in Canada for Major League Baseball. Here's a pitch, low ball. Harry was announcing for the St. Louis Cardinals, and they opened up the National League's entrance into Canada against the Montreal Expos a few years ago. And now is a White Sox announcer announcing the first American League game in Canada here today with the White Sox against the Blue Jays. Left-hander ready. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a foul. I guess Dick Dozer, the Tribune, is covering his 3rd expansion opener. Covered the Cubs at Houston a few years ago. The White Sox against the Seattle Pilots. And the White Sox here today. Dozer covering for the Tribune. Joe Goddard with the Sun-Times. And Phil Hirsch, a newcomer to Chicago, covering for the Chicago Daily News. 2-2 pitch up high, a ball. So the count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out, a runner at first. This man gets on. It brings up the tying run here in the bottom of the 2nd. I tell you, we've got some heating elements up on our ceiling. Here's a pitch off his bat and back to the screen. The runner was off, and the count remains at 3-2. But I'm not feeling any of that heat. I don't know about Dan Hozak. No, he's not either. A beautiful day for football. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Still getting the stock market on the ticker. No other baseball to report out because of it. Brett ready. Runner takes his lead. Here's a toss over to first. The runner back in time. Spencer was playing behind the runner and then came back, but Gary Woods was not to be fooled. Flurries begin again. There he goes. The 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Throw to second. He is safe. A good throw by Downing, but Woods got such a good jump that he slid in there safely for the first Toronto stolen base. That's the 3rd strikeout by Brett. He began the ball game by striking out the first 2 batters, John Scott and Hector Torres, but then Doug Ault put one into the left center field seats, which made it a 2-1 ball game at that time. Right now it's 4-1 White Sox as Pedro Garcia, who played with Milwaukee and the Tigers last year, steps up. Here's a swing and a drive into right field. Just coming over, has to play it on a hop. Here comes the runner around third. Here's the throw, and he is safe. So Garcia goes after the first pitch. It singles home Gary Woods, and it's a 4-2 ball game. Garcia had only 29 RBIs last year with Milwaukee and Detroit. He picks up his first of the year here this afternoon. So one out, a runner at first, and Dave McKay, who played with the Minnesota Twins for a while last year before getting sent down to Sacramento of the Pacific Coast League as the batter, hit .203 with 8 RBIs at Minnesota. I believe that he is the first Canadian. Here's a swing and a grounder on the right side, a base hit. Here goes the runner at second, holding up. And Toronto collects their third hit of the inning and their fourth of the ball game. McKay, a right-handed hitter. Orta was pulled around. Spencer holding the runner at first. Thus a big hole on the right side of the infield, and he singled through. But I think every Canadian who has ever played Major League Baseball has been a pitcher. And I think Dave McKay is the only one who hasn't been a pitcher. He's from Vancouver. Second, holding up. And Toronto collects their third hit of the inning and their fourth of the ball game. McKay, a right-handed hitter. Orta was pulled around. Spencer holding the runner at first. Thus a big hole on the right side of the infield, and he singled through. But I think every Canadian who has ever played Major League Baseball has been a pitcher. And I think Dave McKay is the only one who hasn't been a pitcher. He's from Vancouver, Canada, and played at Creighton University in Omaha. Now Ken Brett has gone to the White Sox dugout, and I think he wanted a new glove. He got it. And he goes back to the mound. So the Blue Jays have come up with 3 singles here in the second inning, and it's a 4-2 ball game.
And the catcher, Rick Cerone.
Rick Cerone out of the Cleveland organization. The catcher is the batter. Cerone hit .254 with 11 homers and 49 RBIs at Toledo of the International League last year, and made the International League All-Star team. Right-handed hitter. He and Alan Ashby, also out of Cleveland, handling the catching chores, and a good curveball for a strike. Brett looks in, gets his sign from Downing. The tying runs on base. Here's a swing and a shot grabbed by Bannister. Throw over to second. He got him. Bannister with a great play, diving to his right, got that on one quick hop. Through to Orta to get Dave McKay. Outstanding play by Alan Bannister. His first chance this afternoon. Well, that saved a base hit and a run. The fans booing the decision here. They weren't too happy with it. They thought that McKay had gotten in there in time. But Rich Garcia, umpiring at second, thought different. On the play, Pedro Garcia goes to third, so there are runners at the first and third, and John Scott, who struck out his first time up as the batter. Brett trying to get out of a jam here. 4-2 ball game. The tying runs are on. Left-hander delivers. Here's a swing and a one-hopper back to the mound. Brett goes to both knees, flips over to Jim Spencer, and that retires the side. So in the second, Toronto comes up with 1 run on 3 hits. There were no errors, and 2 men left on. Well, at the end of 2 complete innings of play, the Chicago White Sox 4, Toronto Blue Jays 2.
What we're all about, sharing our know-how, saying hello, making each visit a pleasure for you. We're the true people you come to know. People make Jewel the place where people like to go.
Turn your Easter dinner into a memorable event with fine foods from Jewel. Start with a favorite from a butcher shop. Through Saturday, delicious smoked ham shank portion, 7 to 9 pounds, is just 69 cents a pound. Ham rump portion, 6 to 8 pounds, is just 79 cents a pound. And add freshness to your Easter menu with farm stand Idaho potatoes. The 10-pound bag is just 99 cents. Through Saturday at Jewel.
People make Jewel the place where people like to go.
Long ground back in Toronto as we go to the third inning. The White Sox out in front here by a score of 4-2. As Oscar Gamble will lead it off. Let me step in and tell you about it. Here's Jimmy Pearsall.
Baseball's back in town, they say here in Toronto. It's awfully cold. The hail is coming down right now. And I don't know how these fans can stand it. They don't let them have any beer. They're not supposed to drink. So to keep warm, there's about 38,000 people here. They're just talking to themselves. But Oscar Gamble stepped in. He walked his first time up. Gamble came over from the Yankees with a trade for this. He's got good power. He's a left-handed hitter, and he crouches at the plate. Singer delivers. Changes speeds outside, ball one. The third baseman McKay is way over off the bag. The shortstop, Hector Torres, is really deep and over towards the bag at second. The one-ball delivery. Fastball outside, ball two. Behind the plate, Mr. Shylock. White Sox leading 4-2. Tremendous home run by Zisk. Here's the pitch. And Gamble goes after it, doesn't get it. 2 balls and 1 strike. There's nobody out. Field's starting to melt a little bit from the snow. In left field now, there's no snow at all. The 2-1 delivery swung on, fouled off to the left side. Third baseman McKay going after it. Now over comes the shortstop, and McKay tried to get it, but he couldn't. Tough footing. Young man hustling as fast as he could, but he's sliding and slipping all over the place. Wondering whether any of these players might injure themselves. At second base, Garcia's got his hand in his pocket. Most of the players have got their hands somewhere in their body so they can keep their hands warm. Alt at first base is very deep. Coaching at third base is Bobby Knapp. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Top of the third inning. White Sox leading. Here's the pitch. Half swing. No, he changed his mind. Count goes full, 3-2. Singer having a great deal of difficulty staying ahead of the hitters. Has thrown probably about 65 or 70 pitches. Spending an awful lot of time cleaning his cleats. He's got a heavy instrument out there. He wipes them off and then cleans them out. 3 balls and 2 strikes. On deck, Soderholm. The 3-2 delivery. Fastball swung on and Gamble was down swinging. And these fans here who are really excited about baseball. Last night they had a tremendous banquet to start things off at all the big bases in town. 1,500 people showed up at $35 a head. So you see they're really going to support this ball club. They sold 8,900 season tickets. The first pitch is Soderholm. Fastball striking the outside corner. That's the Shylock trying to keep himself warm. Jumps around back there. Bucky Anderson started his career as a manager in this ballpark. And so did Dick Williams. A lot of good Major League Baseball players played their career here. There's a fastball swung on, hitting the hole between short and third for a base hit. So Soderholm gets a high slider and ripped it in the left field for a base hit. He's 1 for 2. Brian Downing, who got a... That's Chet Lemon. My mistake. Chet Lemon. Lemon looking down for a turn now. Soderholm. Single left field. He's out with a good lead now, and Singer with a good move at the belt. Delivers. Fastball on the outside corner, called strike. 1 out. Starting to brighten up a little bit here, but it's raining and hailing. Infield in double play position. Garcia over by the bag at second and deep. With his ass to turf, they play very deep. Singer shakes off one sign, goes to the belt, delivers a breaking ball, strike 2 call. And the fans here are excited on every pitch. It's going to be a long season for them. They got a ball club that's very green. Center fielder, Woods, straight away and deep. There's a pitch, inside, ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. In left field, John Scott playing deep, off the line. In right field, Steve Bowling, who played center field most of the spring, but they made the change, and he's playing right field. Big hole between first and second is Ault. Holds against the runner, Soderholm. At the belt now, there's the pitch swung on, hit over third base, foul. Just foul. Just foul, as Lemon, the umpire, waves the single foul. So Lemon, getting a slider away from him, flips it and puts it over the bag with just foul. Now Singer holding his right hand under his armpit. It's really cold. It's amazing that these pitchers can pitch at all. When they're sitting on the bench, they've got hot water bottles and heavy jackets on and towels around their neck. 1 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1 out. Top of the 3rd inning. White Sox leading 4-2. Now Singer waves again. Go over the signs again. He's not ready. Cerone behind the plate. Gives him a sign. There's a pitch swung on a bad ball. That went to Chase, and he's out of the strike. So Campbell and Chet Lemon go down swinging, and both were at bad pitches. Stepping to the plate, catcher Ryan Downing. Downing got a fluke hit when he tried to get away from a pitch. It went over the pitcher's head for a little fluke single in the infield. First pitch from Singer swung on, and boy, that was a pitch up in his eye that he just fouled back. Flag blowing towards left now. Awfully cold in this announcing booth. Got my gloves on, my winter underwear. 1 strike on Brian Downing, doing a fine job behind the plate now. Singer looks over at first. There's a pitch inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Big hole between first and second. Downing batted .346 this spring. Had 1 home run and 8 RBIs. They call him the real hard swinger. He really swings from downtown. Singer looks over at first and delivers a high breaking ball. 2 balls and a strike. Got 2 outs. White Sox with 2 in the first and 2 in the second. Blue Jays got their first win on a home run by Doug Ault, the first baseman. Hit it over everything in left center field. 330 down each line. 375 to left center at 400. Here's a pitch in the dirt, and Cerone makes a good play. This young man has got a good glove. Umpire is saying a few words out there now to Singer. You've got to be very careful when you start stepping around that rubber and then fix your shoes. Those cleats keep getting slow. Third base McKay, deep at third. Singer right up, looks over at first base. Here's a pitch swung, a high ground ball between short and third for a base hit. So Downey gets a high pitch and just rips it in the left field for a base hit. Second hit of the inning. White Sox have been on first and second now with 2 outs. They'll bring to the plate Ralph Garr. Garr walked his first time up, stole second and scored. He got out of there when the first baseman threw the ball into the dirt. And the catcher now out talking to Singer, and he's on his one knee right now, really trying to clean his cleats. Every time they get a base hit, he cleans them twice as much. I don't think he's throwing well at all as the bullpen now starts warming up. If Garr could get a base hit right now, I would say it would be all for him. They've been up about 3 different times, and now the rain really coming hard towards the left field side. Some of these players will really have their trouble getting their footing, as you can see the rain coming in the booth. There's no window here now. They just hit through the head spot. There's the first pitch, swung on the Garr. Hits out a third base line slow. Here comes McKay. He's up with it. He fires over the first. He doesn't get it. A real close play at all, not satisfied at all. As McKay, who didn't take that ball one-handed, decided to do it 2 hands, but the speedy Garr just beat it out. And the bases are now loaded. So Garr, with his great speed, just hustled me. The last step, he really jumped at it. So that's hit number 7 for the White Sox. And the bases are loaded with 2 outs. And the Bannister, who got an RBI in the last time up, he's 1 for 2. He slid to right his first time up. Now he stepped out. Bases are loaded. On deck, Jorge Orta. Soderholm at third. On at second. Brian Downing. First pitch. Curveball right down the middle. Call strike 1. As Singer goes to his windup. Singer won 116 games and has lost 119. Last year he was 9-9 with Minnesota and 4-1 with Texas. Knows how to pitch. At his stretch now, he delivers a fastball swung on, hit off to the right side. Downing calling everybody off, and Doug Ault will take it. Draw number 3, and the White Sox leave the bases loaded. And the score after 2.5 innings of play is the White Sox 4, the Blue Jays 2.
Madigan Brothers, A. Campbell.
All you need is the sunshine and days.
This is something they'll allow, but during the season they only get 8. Now Downing fires down to second base, and Lester Charlock will brush the plate off. Coaching at third base, Jackie Moore for the Toronto Blue Jays, and at first base, Harry Warner. Tonight you see a lot of the people coming out of the right field stands going out into the center field stands with their coverage. He struck out his first time up. He came over for Cleveland when they sent back John Lowenstein. They're looking for got a little experience. Not much of a hitter, but a real fine fielder. Brett takes his pitch, hangs on, ground ball up the middle, and Barrett decides he can't get it. A breaking ball and single up the middle by Hector Torres. As Lauren Brown brings in some coffee. Thank you, Lauren. It is really cold. And that's the fifth base hit given up by Brett. Bannister making some fine plays and looking like he can handle that job out there. At third base, it's Soderholm. Shortstop Bannister, second base, Orta. Seems more happy playing there than anywhere. And at first base, Jim Spencer. Doug Ault, big right-handed hitter, hit a home run last time up. Last year, he hit 25 at Sacramento. He was the property of the Texas Rangers. Big hole between first and second as Spencer holds the runner on. Torres with a good lead, with the fastball high. And the base hits have been giving up. Three of them were given up on breaking balls. A high breaking ball, Doug Ault hit. Soderholm deep at third. Not too far off the line. The outfield is deep. Straight away in center is Lemon. Pitch. Fastball hits the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. Nobody out. White Sox leading 4-2. Bottom of the third inning. Brett looking for a sign. Downing behind the plate. Weed wagon sign. Good guy to get for a double play because he can't run too good. But he's got good power. You can't make a mistake on him. There's kind of a hitch in his swing. The fastball generally jams him if you got a good one. Brett fires over to first base and almost gets him. As Torres just dives back safely. And Warner says a few words to him. These people have a running run out of the park if he got picked off. They really want to win. They're exciting baseball fans. At the belt now. Pitch. He wanted to go after but changed his mind for a ball. A year ago, Jimmy, Brett picked 13 runners off of first base. And Wilbur Woods has picked 13 off in 1 year, so with a combination of those two, plus Del Canton looked like he had a pretty good move in spring training. They'll make those plays, those runners honest. 2 balls and 1 strike. Brett taking his time now. Shakes off his sign, goes to the belt. He throws over to first base, and he almost goes as wild as Spencer has to reach to his right. Jim Spencer, as good a glove man as you ever want to see. Knows how to play the position. Saves a lot of errors when those infielders throw that ball in the dirt. Also takes a lot of time. He's spread out now. He wears number 25. Here's the pitch. Swung on. Line drive down the right field line. That ball may be in the direction of bases. He's out of here. Oh, that ball's a home run. And the game is all tied up. As Ault gets the breaking ball out away from him. It's a line drive over the right field fence. And that ball went out in a hurry. This is a hitter's ballpark. So that's 2 home runs for Ault. He may own this town. Gives him 3 RBIs and 2 runs scored. He's leading the league and the club and everybody. Now here goes some activity down in the bullpen. And in the bottom of the third inning, the game is all tied up, 4-4. Hit number 6. Otto Velez. This guy can hit it out too on you. He slides to center field deep his first time up, and he holds his hand up, asking the umpire for a little time as he digs in. Infield around towards third. At the breaking ball, he rides.
Barrios warming up for the White Sox.
Talking with Stan Williams, he said Barrios would be a long reliever. Along with Bart Johnson. The 1-strike pitch. Inside corner fastball, strike 2. So, Brett now gives up a home run and comes back with 2 great pitches. A good curveball low and away for a strike, and then a fastball on the inside part. There's a fastball outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bottom of the third inning. Game all tied, 4-4. Outfield, big hole in left center. Garr, not too deep. Had the pitch point on a breaking ball. He took a little off it. So he strikes Perez out. And that'll bring up Gary Wood. He got a base hit first time up there. Stole a base. Scored a run. They made a change from right field to center field with him when they found that Bowling couldn't do the job, and they put Bowling in right field. Brett working quick. Sends the ground ball out towards second base. Orders up with it. Puts it over to second base. For out number 2. Brett getting behind on the hitters. And I thought that Ault hit a real good pitch, didn't you?
Yeah, I did too. And I was hoping that it would have curved foul, but he hit it so well that it didn't have time, just like this double.
You hope, but this field seems shorter than 330. I'd like to measure it. the hitter, Steve Bowling. Falls off the first pitch, goes behind the plate.
I recall when Ault was up the first time. I mentioned a little bit I saw him last year. I was impressed. I'm more so today.
Well, Brett's got 4 strikeouts. The 1-strike pitch. Well, that's got away from everybody like he crossed downing up. I didn't quite get whether that was a strike or not, but I got to believe it was a ball outside. 1 ball and 1 strike as it goes up on the scoreboard. There's 2 outs. As now Brett looks at his outfielders and there's a big hole in right center field. A 1-1 delivery. Fastball in the dirt. Gets away from Downey. He picks it up and rubs it up. So now the White Sox, after getting some runs, have found themselves all even. 4-4. Infield with this AstroTurf playing deep. 2 balls and 1 strike. There's 2 outs. The Toronto Blue Jays, the first game for them in Major League Baseball. Fastball outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. On deck, Garcia. You know, you look at a guy like this Bowling, he looks like he could hit one out. There's a fastball swung on. And the scoreboard was wrong. I was wrong. Now 3-2. Big left-handed delivers. Fastball hit out towards shortstop. Bannister on a 1-hop fires over to first base. Draw number 3. But not before the Blue Jays get a couple of runs. And the score after 3 innings of play is the White Sox 4, the Blue Jays 4.
Imagine for a minute that you're standing next to a beautiful, gleaming 1977 Chevrolet Chevelle. Handsome, isn't it? Now, let's walk around it and see if you can guess its price. This Chevelle Malibu coupe has a coach window in the form of cupola line. It has fiberglass radial tire. It has full-coil suspension with automatic brakes, soft carpets, hidden windshield wipers, and dozens of other features to make it a very complete mid-size car. Now, what do you think is the price of this Chevelle? It's not $6,000, not $5,000, not even $4,000. It's $3,885. That's manufacturer's suggested retail price, including dealer preparation. Price higher in California. Tax, license, destination charge, and available equipment additional. $3,885. Beautiful price. Beautiful car. The smart, complete mid-size Chevrolet Chevelle.
Back in Toronto, Canada, as we go to the 4th inning. The White Sox, 4 runs on 8 hits. The Blue Jays, 4 runs on 6 hits. And we've had 3 home runs today. Richie Zisk, a solo home run for the White Sox. And Doug Ault, a solo home run for Texas. I was rather his old club a year ago for Toronto, and a 2-run homer for Toronto. And now to step in and tell you about it here in the 4th inning, here's Harry Carey. All right, Lauren, thank you very much. Hello again, everybody. Well, it's a wild one, isn't it? I'm afraid of in this game, it looks like whoever bats last is going to win, and Toronto bats last. They're the home team. Both teams are scoring freely. Boy, but for a sensational play by Alan Bannister, this ball game might be already down the drain. Here we go to the top of the 4th inning.
Alan Bannister.
Here's Jorge Orta to lead it off. Is a little bit low. Pete Weber, formerly of Galesburg, Illinois, and South Bend, Indiana, here with now working for Buffalo, New York radio station watching the game. Here's a pitch Orta swings and he misses. Top of the 4th with the score tied at 4. Bill Singer's gone all the way against Ken Brett. Now the pitch is a wild one. Hey, almost hits Nestor Shylock behind the plate. Singer has been accused of throwing spitballs. And the way some of his balls are darting and dipping, and the way the snow has been coming down, maybe he's throwing spitballs unintentionally. 2 balls and a strike. We said all along that there's no doubt that the White Sox are going to make runs. Whether their pitching and defense can hold the opposition is what it all comes down to. He's a good example. Brett's your ace pitcher. You give him 4 runs in the first 2 innings, yet you're only tied 4-4. There's a pitch Orta swings. A high drive, twisting in the foul territory, and it's caught by Scott. The wind brought that ball right back to Scott, who thought it was going to go into the stand. One away. Here's Richie Zisk, who's homered and doubled in his first 2 American League times at bat.
Number 22, the right fielder, Richie Zisk.
1 out, nobody on. Tied 4-4. Now to wind up the pitch, here it is. There's a strike off. You know, after Doug Ault had hit his second home run of the game off Brett to tie up the ball game, he retired Velez, Woods, and Bowling in order and looked better than he had at any time previously. One strike and nothing. 1 out, nobody on. Ball game in the 4th. It's to this. Look out, high and inside. Many of the spectators are frozen in the leading. There's a wild one. That hits the ground in front of the plate. Right-hand hitter up there, Richie Zisk. 1 out, nobody on. And that scoreboard is wrong. It should be at least 2 balls. Now Singer gets set. Now the pitch swung, and he missed. The scoreboard is incorrect. It's 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Nobody on. The score tied. Now the Singer goes into the windup to delivery. He struck him out. This goes down swinging. Boy, that second home run of Ault with a man on has changed the tempo of this game around. The White Sox were the aggressor, and now Singer seems to have settled down. Here's Spencer, 1 out of 2. Score tied 4-4. Spencer grounded a single past Spencer in the first. And then with runners at second and third, and the second hit a ball even more sharply, headed for center field, only to have Singer stab it and throw him out. 2 balls to nothing. Oscar Gamble with the next. Score tied. Spencer digging in, waiting. Swings that bat around the pitch. Swings, and he bounces it far. Henneman also knocks it down. Both coaches with their hands in their back pockets. Let's pause here for station identification.
This is WMAQ Chicago.
Harry back in Toronto. Here's the pitch for Spencer. Hey! Swings, and he misses. That evens the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Spencer going for the long one. Oscar Gamble will be up there next. 2 men are out, nobody on. Now the signal given. Now the pitch, here it is. There's the line shot to right field for a hit. Almost got over Bowling's head. So Spencer makes it 2 out of 3 with the line single to right. That's the 9th hit for the White Sox.
Number 17, the designated hitter, Oscar Gamble.
Here's Oscar Gamble looking for his first hit. He just joined the White Sox today after being acquired from the New York Yankees. The Blue Jays have a slogan in their dressing room that apparently comes from Ray Kroc, the owner of the San Diego Padres, is here today. Ray Kroc being the founder of McDonald's and a Chicagoan. There's a pitch, a strike call over the outside corner. Press on. Nothing in this world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Here's the pitch, low outside. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination are omnipotent. A ball and a strike. Well, Doc Ellis, the temperamental pitcher of the Yankees.
and bothered about their owner, George Steinbrenner. Whoa! Ball two. 2 balls for the strike. He thinks that Billy Martin's going to be fired by Steinbrenner. And he thinks Steinbrenner interferes with the Yankees too much. 2 balls and a strike. Outside. Ball. 3. 3 balls and a strike. Ball game of the 4th. Now the stretch. The pitch. Oh, he swung in an awful pitch. That would have been ball 4. It was a mile outside. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Oscar Gamble, who used to be with the Cubs. Then with Cleveland. Later with the Yankees. Now the runner Spencer will be going with the pitch. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The stretch. Steps off the rubber, gets back on. Gets set again. Delivers. Swings and he fouls it off. Gamble swinging at bad pitches. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Left-hand hitter digging in. Jim Spencer, with 2 outs, 3 and 2 on the hitter, will be going with the pitch. Now ready? There goes the runner. Ball 4 is low. Boy, he almost swung at that. He held up in time. So here's Eric Soderholm with runners at first and second and 2 outs. Soderholm is the 1 out of 2. Garr's had a hit. Bannister's had a hit. Orta is hitless. Zisk has 2 hits. Spencer 2. Gamble has walked twice. Downing has 2 hits. Here's the pitch. Outside, a breaking ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Runners at first and second. We're in the top of the 4th. Now from the belt, ready. Pitch to Soderholm. Low, ball 2. Chet Lemon will be up there next. It's not an official ball game yet. Right-hand hitter waiting. 2 balls, no strikes. The stretch. The pitch. Fastball inside, ball 3. A right-hander starts warming up for the Blue Jays. 3-0 is the count on Soderholm. The stretch, the pitch. Quick over the outside corner to Need. Singer is struggling too, like Brett. 3 balls and a strike. Now the stretch, the pitch. Here it is. There's a high fly ball. That'll be caught. Left field, Scott waiting. He has it near the warning track. 4 runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left. They go to the bottom of the 4th. With the score tie. White Sox 4, Blue Jays 4.
Reminder once again that fans will not be permitted to...
Have you ever noticed beer commercials, how much alike they are? All talk about the finest ingredients, the master brewing, etc., etc. Me, all I care about is the taste. Maybe it is the unique fire brewing that Stroh's uses. I don't know, but once you taste Stroh's beer, you know it is unmistakably different. That's right. Stroh's beer tastes good. Stroh Brewery, Detroit, Michigan.
When we say we're having cash call winners all over Chicagoland, we mean it.
WMAQ's going to make me rich.
Good morning. This is Lee Sherwood calling from WMAQ. And you've just won 2 brand new cars and $3,000 in cash.
While listening to that organist, remind us that opening day will be next Tuesday afternoon. 1:15 game against the Boston Red Sox. And Nancy Crowley. beer. We want beer.
Number 38, the second baseman, Pedro Garcia.
Paraphrase that, we want Stroh. We want Stroh. Garcia will lead it off. He singled in a run in the second inning. Red now finds himself in a tie. 4-4. The pitch. Swung, and he fouled it out of play off to the right. Still throwing, but ever so lightly now. Well, see what Lenny Randall is the first loser of the year. $23,407. He was fine. Here's a pitch swung on. Fly ball, center field. Lemon coming on. He just touched it. It bounces over his head. And there goes Randall into second base. Lemon played that awfully. He must not have seen it. Instead of an easy routine fly ball out, it winds up a double. Maybe lost it in the snowflakes. So there's the go-ahead run in scoring position. Red is very unhappy out there. Runner in scoring position, nobody out. And Dave McKay, the third baseman. Bronco now with a chance to go ahead. Line drive, base hit. Here's the go-ahead run. Just cuts the ball off. 5-4, Toronto. McKay hit the very first pitch like a bullet in the right center. Nice play by Zisk, kept it from rolling to the wall. And Brett may not be meant for this game much longer. As the eighth hit off, with nobody out here in the fourth. And they have really hit the ball hard, although that first double should have been caught. Double here in this inning. Here's Rick Cerone. Was robbed on a sensational play by Bannister. Takes the fastball for a strike call. Stewart by the Blues was hit with a $2,000 fine, $500 for each day. He missed. They should throw to first, the runner back. There's a lead by McKay. Throw over there. He's back. Let's see how they're going to play it here, the Blue Jays. Cerone took the first pitch for a strike called. Jackie Moore coaching at third base. Harry Warner at first base. McKay edging on first. The pitch. There's a fly ball and a center field. Lemon coming on. It's a base hit. Stops in front of him. And his runner's on at first and second. Nobody out. That's 3 hits in a row. And here comes Bob Lemon. That's going to be all for Brett. Lemon is talking to him out there. We'll have a new pitcher coming in. Let's see if it's Barrios. They're all huddled around the mound. 5-4 in favor of Toronto. Will take over from Brett. Brett pitched 3 innings. He allowed 9 hits. 5 runs. The responsibility for the men on base belongs to him. He struck out 4 and didn't walk anybody. So Barrios right-hander will take over. The only decision Fred could get in this game would be a defeat. There's no way he could win it because he did not pitch as a starter the necessary 5 innings. The White Sox had
Now pitching for Chicago, number 46, Francisco.
had 9 hits themselves, but only 4 runs. So Barrios, a hard-throwing right-hander, is finishing up his practice charges. The White Sox will be back home against the Boston Red Sox Tuesday afternoon. They'll also play Wednesday afternoon. White Sox business manager Rudy Schaefer here for the opener. Rudy was the general manager for the Toronto Maple Leaf when they were in the International League, when they were owned by Jack Kent Cooke. Jack Kent Cooke, who now owns the Lakers and other things out in Los Angeles,
Fielder John Scott
was always interested in getting Major League franchise in Toronto. They never could. Here's Scott with runners at first and second and nobody out. In the fourth, Hector Torres due next. They're expecting him to bunt. He faked the bunt as if to swing away and took the pitch inside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strike. Runners at first and second. Western Union ticker is not working, so we can't give you any other scores. Nothing seems to be working here in this ballpark. There's the ball bunted hard. They ought to get a full play at third. And they do. From Barrios to Soderholm. Scott trying to sacrifice. So that leaves runners at first and second with 1 out. The ball was bunted hard back to Barrios, but Soderholm had broken in, and he had to retreat. And Barrios had to hit a moving target, but he hit him perfectly for the out. 1 gone. Hector Torres due to be the hitter here. We'll see if we're going to have a pinch hitter. Jim Mason. Jim Mason is going to hit for Torres. A left-handed batter. Mason will replace Torres at shortstop. Mason was with the Yankees last year, hit from 180. Better hitter than that. The runners at first and second, 1 gone. Brian Downing moving Lemon over towards left center as Mason steps to the plate. 5-4 in favor of the Blue Jays. The ball game in the bottom of the 4th.
Jim Mason.
Mason known more for his fielding than his hitting. Left-handed batter. Used to be with the Texas Rangers. The pitch, a little bit outside. He's with the Rangers and then the Yankees for the last 3 years. Has never hit more. Only had 1 year as high as 250. Mario's ready to pitch. Fastball a little bit low. Doug Ault, who kept them in the ball game with 2 home runs. The second one coming with a man on to tie up the ball game in the 3rd is on deck. Now to stretch the pitch. Ball 3 is high. And now the Blue Jays are in a spot to break the game wide open. They already have taken the lead 5-4, have runners at first and second. Left-hand pitch hitter Jim Mason up there. But only 1 out. Now Barrios gets set. good fastball for a strike call. Three balls and a strike. Runners at first and second, one away. 5-4, Toronto. Now to stretch the pitch. High, top foul, out of play. Into the stands. A souvenir for someone. It hits a number of hands. Boy, they don't contest for souvenirs here. They don't fight for them like they do in other places. 3 balls, 2 strikes. I guess that's Canadian hospitality. Let's see if the runners will be going on the 3-2 pitch. Now to stretch. 3-2. There they go, the pitch. Ball 4 high. Boy, oh boy, if he should have thrown a strike, they had the 2 men hung up. Cerone had slipped and couldn't run towards third. So the bases are loaded now, and here's the hero of the day. Doug Ault, the loser of the crowd.
Reasons why Zenith Chromacolor 2 should be your next color TV is Zenith Space Command 1000 with instant zoom close-up. It's an exclusive Zenith feature that zooms you into the action. Just press the zoom button on the remote control and the zoom picture is 50% larger. You get an instant close-up. It's available on selected 19 and 25-inch diagonal Zenith Chromacolor 2 models. Stop in at your Zenith dealer for a demonstration and zoom into action.
dark until I talk to the rest of these players regarding slide ball. We don't want to be unfair to Chet until we know, but it doesn't seem like the other outfielders on the other club have any. Well, there's that defense, you know. Well, it's gotten better. Our defense has gotten better, but that's what happens in center field.
All right, here's Chet Lemon now to lead it on. Lemon is nothing out of 2. 5-4 in favor of Lemon. Now to wind up the fifth. And Lemon takes it a little bit low.
Oh, I'm warming up. Oh, you got coffee. I don't like coffee.
1 ball, no strike.
I'm in Canada. They don't give me any tea.
The snow has stopped now, but it's gotten colder. Here's a pitch fouled off Lemon's foot. And the count evens, a ball and a strike. The White Sox, for the first time today, are trailing. They got 2 in the first. All hit a homer. They got 2 more in the second, leading 4-1. Blue Jays came back with 1 in the second. All hit another homer in the third with a man on to tie it. And now they're ahead 5-4. Swings, and he misses. 2 strikes to the ball. Chet Lemon. I tell you, to hit his average, he's got to feel better in center field than he's been doing today, whether...
Yeah, I'm just trying to help him a little bit right now before I second guess him, but he should have. I think he's got to catch those balls.
Here's a pitch a little bit low outside.
You know, I've seen such great outfielders never do that, so you wonder. You know what I mean? Even in bad parts. You know, it's just, maybe he's inexperienced. I don't know. If he's inexperienced, maybe he shouldn't be here. Who knows?
Right-hand hitter waiting. He's 0 for 2 today, trying to get hold of 1. The White Sox trail only by a run. Here's Bill Singer's pitch. Whoa, high and inside. Knocked him down.
Watch him come back with that low breaking ball.
That was kind of the purpose pitch. He really drove it back. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Let's see if Lemon hangs in there now.
I can't believe Singer is still in there. We let him off the hook.
I should say. Each team with 9 hits. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the fifth. Swings, and he fouls it back. And he hung in there for the curveball.
It was up in his eyes.
Yeah.
My mother could hit it up for her eyes.
And Singer hung it too. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Chet Lemon. Nobody out here in the top of the fifth. A long way to go. The snow has stopped. It looks like the skies are trying to clear. Off day tomorrow. Play again Saturday. Half swing and he fouls it out of play. Saturday will be on the air at 12:15 Chicago time, and again Sunday. Then back home Sunday night to play Tuesday afternoon the home opener against the Boston Red Sox. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ball 3 is high. Come on, Chet, you're on.
Warm us up.
Lemon with a count of 3 balls, 2 strikes. Now to wind up the pitch, here it is. Swings, and he fouls it back. He had a good touch.
Harry, if you had a net here all season, you'd get some.
I think so, too. Oh, we might be a little bit too far back. Nice ballpark. They've done a good job here. They could do something about the weather now. This is the kind of weather we opened in last year in Chicago. 3-2 pitch. Fouled it back. He hung that breaking ball, and Lemon had a good cut, but didn't get it. Just fouled it back. Lemon trying to get on to start this 5th inning. White Sox trail by a run.
He's going to get some runs because I don't think Barrios is doing too good.
5-4 in favor of the Blue Jays. Bill Singer gets set, veteran 33-year-old right-hander. Lemon digging in. 3 balls, 2 strikes, a pitch. Swings, and he lines it foul. Into the right field stands. So he's hanging in there tough. Now the spectators have left. They don't sell beer here, and they've gone to the corner saloon to get warm. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Now the pitch. Whoa, struck him out. Breaking ball. He thought it was inside. And Lemon's really arguing about it.
When you're going bad, that pitch went around the plate, and you notice how long it took Nestor to call that pitch, so he wasn't sure either. So when you're going bad, it gets worse.
So now Chet Lemon tries over to the dugout. That hurt. Ball 4 would have put a runner on, but nobody out. Here's Brian Downing. 2 out of 2 today.
I feel like we're in the 14th inning.
Let's see. 5th strikeout for Singer. There's a pitch. Downing fouls it back. 1 strike to nothing.
Those boxes over there, Harry. 25,000 pounds.
I don't see anybody in them.
You have to put your own decorations in, too. But the economy up here is very good.
1 strike and nothing to pitch on the way. Whoop. He didn't mean to swing. The ball hits his bat foul. 2 strikes and nothing. 1 out. You'd I see Nestor Schilling do something today. Of course, it's the first game of the season, but we've had 5 weeks of spring training games. Hesitate more before calling a pitch than I've ever seen him do.
That's why I thought he might have missed that pitch.
There's a pitch. Swung on base hit. A line shot to left for Downing. That's the way to start the year. 3 out of 3. So there's the tie run on with only 1 out. Here's Garr. He got an infield hit in the third. The safe on an error by the third baseman in the second. Walked and scored in the first. He hasn't zeroed in on Singer. Each ball he has hit has been off the end of the bat, dribbling towards third. 1 he beat out. So Downing on at first base, 1 away.
Left fielder Ralph Garr.
Oh, Ralphie get hold of 1. Now to pitch. Wide, a curveball.
You know, maybe Nestor's having trouble with the background. Boy, would he be mad if he could hear us talking about his umpire. He is a great umpire.
Oh, he is. 1 ball, no strikes. Now to pitch. Ground ball, right field, base hit. Will the runner go to third? No, he stopped at second. Garr drilled a single to right. That may be all for Singer. He too will not be able to win no matter how this game comes out. And he is taken out here because he too hasn't pitched 5 full innings yet. 5-4. Roy Hartsfield, the manager out there. That may be all. We have a right-hander living up in the bullpen.
Johnson, is it? Johnson?
Jerry Johnson, I think. All right, they haven't indicated to the bullpen yet. Yes, now. A new pitcher, Singer pitches. 4 and a third innings. He at least outlasts the threat. He allowed 11 hits. Only 4 runs, surprisingly enough. He walked 3. And he struck out 5.
Johnson has been around quite a bit. He's been in baseball since 63. Last year he was at San Diego and Hawaii. He had a 7-8 record. And he pitched for the Roy Hartsfield when he managed there. His ERA was 4.62. At San Diego he was 1-3. Jerry stands 6 feet 2, weighs about 190. He's a slider ball sinker pitcher. And they hope that if they get a couple innings out of him when they need him, that's all they're looking for.
I think Charlie Sadd, Ralph Garr is trotted in the dugout, and Charlie Sadd, the White Sox trainer, I guess just getting the mud out of his spike. Downing is at second base. Garr will be at first. You know, this Jerry Johnson has really been around. He was a third baseman originally. You know that he pitched in the big leagues almost 10 years ago with the Phillies. He's modeled a few uniforms. Salinas, Auburn, Williamsport, Greenville, Jacksonville, San Diego, Philadelphia, Tulsa, St. Louis, San Francisco, Cleveland, Denver, Houston, Hawaii, San Diego.
I couldn't read all that, Harry. You do that well. I just feel I give him a little bitch because he has got the longest record of any pitcher down there.
Last year with San Diego, he, as Jimmy told you, he had a high earned run average, and he'll be coming in here to face Bannister, who's running around with a base hit in the second.
A sinker ball pitcher has a tough time on his AstroTurf. As he throws it down, he wants it to be hit on the ground, and he hit it, and it goes quickly. It shoots through there, especially today.
You know, just to show you the fallacy of judging on basis of batting average. Now, Bannister has 1 hit today, driving in a run. He has saved at least 5 runs, maybe who knows how many. Who knows how far the inning would have gone had he not come up with a spectacular play. So with 2 to defensive plays, he's accounted for more runs than most sluggers drive in on a good day.
And he's going to get better, they tell me, and he's got a... You know, I don't know how good he was because he doesn't look too strong, but he certainly is making the plays, and he swings that bat fairly good.
So here's the pitch by Jerry Johnson, and it's a little bit inside, ball one. One ball, no strike. Orta will be up there next. Jerry Johnson, a big right-hander, stands 6'2".
He's got to keep out of a double play because we got to get Orta up there.
Orta's up there next.
Yeah, we got to get him up there.
He's due for one. Now the stretch, the pitch to Bannister. There's a line drive to the third baseman. No chance to get the double play. Downing played it smart, and so did Garr. Waiting to see the ball go through first. Bannister hit a rope, but right at McKay. So that's two gone. And here's Orta. He drove in the first run for the White Sox with a sacrifice fly. He's nothing out of two officially. He struck out and he fouled out. Left-hand batter digging in. Oh, for a long one here. We're in the fifth. 5-4 in favor of Toronto.
I'll take a blue, Perry.
Anything.
I'll take anything.
Zisk due next.
The clouds are coming in again.
Now to stretch the pitch. Curve, a beauty. Overhanded curveball right in there.
I wish I was hitting on that curveball.
Orta looked like he was just going to take a pitch to see what Johnson throws. One strike and nothing. Runners at first and second. The right-hander gets set. From the belt. The pitch. Oh, then he fouled it back, and that's that low fastball. And Orta usually, that's what he hits his home runs with. Or on.
Sometimes the hitter hasn't seen a pitcher in a long time. Takes him a while to adjust it. So the pitcher has got the advantage.
So it's 2 strikes and nothing. Jerry Johnson in relief. Waiting now from the belt, the pitch.
If you're listening to this on any YouTube channel other than Classic Baseball on the Radio, be sure to check out the YouTube channel Classic Baseball on the Radio. This game was first posted.
Second baseman's out in right field. Now the stretch, the pitch. A little tap. He was really fooled on the curveball, and he barely kicked it foul.
He's given good motion. I mean, he's really reaching back and then throwing up a real slow curveball low.
So, Orta's in the hole. 2 strikes and the ball. Left-hand batter waiting. At the belt, the delivery. Here it is. Fast, but right to the first base. He hasn't stepped on the bat. All done is missing. That ball was hit hard, but right at him. No run, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left. The White Sox have stranded 11 in 5 innings. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Toronto 5, the White Sox 4.
Rich lemon filling topped with lemon streusel in a perfect flaky crust. The flavor's frozen in, so all you do is bake. Lloyd J. Harris Lemon Crunch Pie. Lloyd J. Harris, what a pie, what a pie. That homemade cake, you really gotta try. The aroma's so inviting, it makes it exciting. Lloyd J. Harris, what a pie.
First of exhibition play.
Harry Carey and Jimmy Pearson as they go to the bottom of the 5th with the Toronto Blue Jays leading 5-4. Boy, the best football came up until now. We've only played 4.5 innings.
We've been out here a long time, Harry. But these fans, seemingly, they don't go anywhere because they can't drink. They just sit there and they introduced Whitey Ford, and it was great to hear the enthusiasm of these fans towards him because they gave him a standing ovation.
Well, they announced that he was in the Hall of Fame. I guess you helped put him here, there.
All right, I struck out enough times for him. I'll tell you. I got one home run off him, though. The man fell down.
and nobody out. And he got out of the inning thanks to a sensational play by Alan Bannister. Here's Velez, Otto Velez, the designated hitter. They haven't announced the crowd, but I guess it has to be 44,000. I wonder if we can get some other game scores, huh? Danny? Nobody on and nobody out. Otto Velez swings and he misses a breaking ball. One strike to nothing. Nobody on, nobody out. Bottom of the fifth. Western Union Tinker brings in all the scores, which we rely on. Not working here in Canada. No doubt. The ball and a strike as the fastball is inside. Velez, right-hand hitter, good power. Now to wind up the pitch. Swings, and there's a big hit. Velez singles to left. And here's Gary Wood. He's 1 out of 2. I don't think Barrios is throwing too good either. It looks to me like he just doesn't have his live fastball today. They've had 11 base runners and scored 5 of them. The White Sox have had 15 base runners and scored 4. There goes the runner to pitch inside. There's a throw. And here's he had a throw over the batter's head while lunging to his left. Way off balance. He made a perfect throw, and they almost had him at second base. Velez, on a close play, is ruled safe. He knocked the wind out of himself, but he's going to stay in there. Remember we were talking in the spring that Downing would have to release quicker. I believe he's worked so hard that he's mastered it. And that play right there, he was stumbling to the left and still threw the ball. He almost got it. It was a bang-bang play. Somehow they have a man in scoring position with nobody out. Now let's see what Gary Woods is going to do here. He's fast. He beat out a bunt earlier in the ballgame. They only use Velez against left-handers. They only use Gary Woods against left-handers. But against the right-handed Barrios, both are staying in the hit. And Velez single to left. Let's see what Woods going to do. He bunts right back to the mound. Stay at third base. Throw to first. He's out. Nobody was at third base covering as Soderholm was coming in towards the bunt. And Barrios had in his mind to get the runner at third because the ball was bunted so hard right back at him. When he whirled to throw to third, there was nobody there, but fortunately, Velez held at second base. So then Barrios recovered and threw to first in time for the play. 1 out. The hitter wasn't giving himself up. He was running for a base hit. That's why the runner was not running. And Downing had gone out to the mound just before the pitch and said something to Barrios to be alive for something. And that helped him. He hollered, too. I bet he hollered at him when he was over there. I think we're going to have a pinch hitter here. Al Woods, a left-handed batter, is going to bat for Steve Bowling. Al Woods, no relation to Gary Woods. A left-hand hitter coming out. Alvis Woods from Oakland, California. He was acquired from Minnesota in the expansion draft in the second round.
You got me.
At Tacoma, he hit 284 last year. He's only 23 years old, left-hand batter. Al Woods. There's Barrios getting ready. The stretch at the belt to pitch. High fastball, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Barrios fitting into the role of the early relief man. He replaced Ken Brett in the 4th. 1 ball, no strikes. Now the signal given. There's a fastball for a strike call. Alvis Woods is the left-hand hitter. Harry Woods is the right-hand batter. 1 out. A ball on the strike to count. The pitch. Swung and a high pop foul out of play into the stands. He's in the hole, strike 2. I can't get over the genteel manner in which they go after a foul ball in the stand. Very polite, very courteous. No piling up, scuffling. Unusual.
See, they haven't used the ball enough.
2 strikes and a ball. Now the sign given. The pitch. High pop foul coming back into the stand. Out of play. 2 strikes and a ball. 5-4 in favor of Toronto. They have a runner at second with 1 away. 2 strikes and a ball to count. The field was covered by snow when we started today. Now the signal. The snow has stopped. 2 strikes and a ball to pitch. Long drive way back. Make me out of here. It could be. It is a home run. A fastball right down the middle, and Elvis Woods hit it a mile. That's their 3rd home run of the day. And their manager, Roy Hartsfield, is sure making the right move at the right time.
It looks to me like Barrios and Brett just don't seem that with 2 strikes hit a guy out of a tough pitch. They're hanging those pitches.
All right, it's big lead now. They've scored in every inning against the White Sox. And for those who worried about the White Sox pitching this game,
He only hit 6 home runs at the Coma last year.
yeah, only had 6 home runs for the minor league. In each of the last 2 years, there's the ball knocked down by Soderholm. He throws the first to the out. Garcia hits a hot smash to Soderholm, who knocked it down, recovered, and threw him out. The pinch hitter coming off the bench is a fellow who, in each of the last 2 years of the minor league, hit a total of 6 home runs. Here's Dave McKay. He's 2 out of 2 today. 7-4 in favor of Toronto. Now the signal given. Into the windup of pitcher it is. Swings, and this is for a strike. 1 strike to nothing. Yeah, the White Sox theory of making a reliever out of Barrios is that he throws everything at the same speed. And until he learns something that will throw the batter off stride, he can blow the fastball by him maybe for 1 time around, but after that, he's in trouble.
It's awfully hard, as I say, Harry, many times. You can't learn it in the bigs. You break people's hearts.
2 strikes to nothing. Fastball low and outside. So, Toronto scored 5 off Brett, 2 already off Barrios. 2 strikes and a ball to pitch. Inside, most of them back. Dave McKay, switch hitter. Batting left-handed against Barrios. 2-2 pitch swung on. Ground ball. Up with an order. Throws the first to the out. That retires the side. But 2 big runs. 2 hits. Nobody left. At the end of 5, Toronto 7, the White Sox 4.
I've got a story to tell, I'm ashamed to say, about a car that drank too much. Like a bar hopping just went from pump to pump, guzzling gas and such. The way that car was drinking gas, I should have bought it in whiskey jugs.
mile over the right field wall. A number of players have hit home runs their first times up. Bob David, Campy Campaneris, are two that come to mind. There's some scores. The Cardinals lead the Pirates 6-3 at the end of 6. The Cubs over the Mets 1-0 at the end of 3. The Red Sox lead Cleveland 3-0 at the end of 3. Texas and Baltimore are tied 1-1 at the end of 3. Here's Richie Zisk to lead it off. White Sox in trouble now. Trailing by 3. Zisk takes the first pitch low. Jerry Johnson now has a chance to be a winning pitcher. It's his lead to hold. Now to wind up the pitch. Here it is. Swung and he missed. Bad ball over his head. That evens the count of the ball on a strike. Zisk homered and doubled his first 2 times. Struck out on the 4th. Jerry Johnson delivers. Here it is. Ground ball headed to left field. Knocked down by the shortstop Mason. There can be no play. A base hit. Zisk singled on Mason's glove. So there's a good start. And here's Spencer, who's 2 out of 3 today. Ball game in the 6th. Jim Spencer. Now the pitch to Spencer, and it's a little bit low. That's the first hit on Jerry Johnson to lead off the 6th. 1 ball, no strikes. Oscar Gamble will be up there next. Now Jerry Johnson, the right-hander, gets ready. Here's the pitch. Swung on a long drive. Way back of the stage fair. It's curving. It is foul. Holy cow. We needed a little help from the wind to blow into the opposite direction to hold that ball in. He really creamed it. A line drive over the right field wall, foul by about a foot. Looking for one pitch and got it. Well, that breaks your heart. I'm going to look for a breaking ball. If I get it, I'm going to hit it somewhere, and he did. Spencer is 2 out of 3 today. A little bit disappointed on that one. The count evened up with a ball and a strike. Takes a look at Bobby Knopf, who's looking the other way with both hands in his back pockets. Vinny Minoso likewise coaching at first. Now the stretch. The pitch. Outside. Ball 2. Looks like a screwsy he's throwing there. Looks like he's turning it over. 2 balls to the strike. Oh, for a good inning. White Sox have had 12 hits, but are losing 7-4. Timely home runs by the Blue Jays. There's a half swing, and he fouled it out of play. The count evens 2 balls, 2 strikes. We're in the 6th. Getting right along. Plenty of time to make some runs. Even up 2 balls, 2 strikes. Gamble will be up there next. Now Jerry Johnson is ready. From the belt. Here's the pitch. Stops him out. He may have chased a bad ball. That was that screwball to the left-hand batter. Dipping down and away. And here's Gamble. One gone. We're in the 6th. I think Gamble came here to walk. Well, he stuck out the other time. We want here. We want runs. We want runs. Throws. Stretch the pitch. Swing! And he fouls it off. Gamble has about 1 good swing. Looks like he's running away from every pitch. He probably hasn't hit much this spring. Runner first, 1 out. Soderholm would be up there next. Gamble trying to get hold of one. Now the stretch, the hesitation. The pitch, high. That evens it up a ball and a strike. Off day tomorrow. Be with you at 12:15, Saturday afternoon and again Sunday. The fans want to know what kind of a pitcher's pitch. He's like Stu Miller. He don't throw very hard. There's a curveball high. 2 balls and a strike. Oh, he's got, all he looks like he's got out there is a prayer. Gee, that screwball is his best pitch. 2 balls and a strike. Jerry Johnson has his signal. The pitch. Good fastball. A strike is called. He pulled him that time after throwing all that junk. His fastball looked like a Bob Feller pitch. But it ain't. He
even pop the catcher's glove.
2-2 pitch. Outside, ball 3. Come on, this is an important man to get on base. The tying run would be at the plate. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Let's see what Zisk is going to do. The White Sox are 3 runs behind. Zisk takes a long lead off first. The stretch. There's the pitch. He holds. Swung and he fouled it out of play. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Maybe your gamble.
Maybe hit a home run off of this guy. You got to use your own power because he's really changing speed.
35 years old. Jerry Johnson. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Gamble waiting. Now the pitch, here it is. Swings, and he fouls it back. He had a good whip that time, boy. He was guessing fastball. He got fastball, and he had a good cut. Just didn't get it. He fouled it back. Full count. Zisk has been holding because they're 3 runs behind. Why risk running into an out? 3 balls, 2 strikes. Down the stretch. The pitch. Ball 4. He walked it. He let up on that pitch, and he had Gamble on stride, but the pitch was wide. So, the tying run is at the plate.
Number 12, the third baseman, Eric Soderholm.
Here's Eric Soderholm. He's had 1 hit, 1 out of 3. Runners at first and second, only 1 away. Now the stretch. The pitch to Soderholm. Good fastball at the knee. Strike is called. About 4 o'clock here in Toronto. The game started at 1:30. We're only in the 6th. Now the stretch. The pitch. Curveball inside and high. Ooh, I'd like to see him hang one of those all tied up. A ball and a strike. Eric Soderholm digging in. Now the stretch. The pitch on the way. Outside, ball 2. 2 balls to the strike. Chet Lemon on deck. Soderholm, who hits the ball all fields. Now the stretch. The pitch. Inside, ball 3. We'll take a base on balls. That will fill the bases with only 1 out. Chet Lemon would be up there next. Let's see if Soderholm is hitting. Runners at first and second. The 3-1 delivery. Here it is. He is hitting. A looper into center field. Going to drop base hit. Here's a runner on third base on to score. They're not even going to play for him. The throw comes back into the infield. Soderholm loops a single to center. Scoring Zisk. Gamble stopped at second. And now it's 7-5. And still counting.
Toronto only has 1 left-handed pitcher on the club, and he's a relief pitcher who falls here for safe identification.
Carry with Jimmy Pierce off. Runners at first and second, a run in. Here's a curveball low at 11. Pete Vukovich, who used to be with the White Sox, the right-hander. Starting to warm up for the Toronto Blue Jays. Manager Roy Hartsfield comes out to stall a little bit because this has happened in a hurry to give Vukovich a chance to get ready.
Talking with Hartsfield, he said with Vukovich, it's new for him to be warming up in the bullpen will take a lot longer than a guy like Johnson who's used to it, or a guy like Wills that they have. So he's out there delaying a little bit right now.
All right, he walks back off the field now. Soderholm, who had trotted into the dugout, comes back out to first base. It's 7-5. Oh, for a long run. Chet Lemon struck out in the 5th, struck out in the 3rd, rolled out in the 2nd. He's due. Right-handed batter. Now the stretch by Jerry Johnson. The pitch. Fastball inside, low ball 1. And Jerry Johnson is just missing now. 2 hits and a walk in this inning have accounted for a run. Lemon waiting. Now the pitch, here it is. Strong, and he fouled it back, and he really had a good rip. And that evens it up. About a a ball and a strike.
Lemon letting the pitch get even with the plate before he swings. He's got to hit that ball more out in front because he's getting good cuts with the balls by him.
All right, Johnson off the stretch. Gamble a safe lead at second base. The pitch. Low. See, the board says ball 3. I think it should be ball 2. The board keeps you guessing. It's a temporary board. It's rather imperfect. Now the stretch from the belt. The pitch. Low walking ball 4. So the bases are loaded. Only one out, and Brad Downing, who's 3 out of 3 today. What a spot to make it a perfect game. The bases are loaded. Jerry Johnson on the hill. Pete Bukovich warming up.
I hope we have about 5 before he gets ready.
Okay, Downing gets the ball all over. Infield's going to play back for the double play. Here's the pitch. Right down the middle of fastball. I guess he hadn't seen Jerry Johnson, so he wanted to look at a pitch. Now he's in the hole. 1 strike to nothing. A base hit would tie it. Now to wind up the pitch, here it is. Curve a little bit outside. Boy, the way he throws, he could hang on, and Downing could hit it right out of here.
And Downing, a high ball hitter, hit 3 shots on high balls today.
Fair ball and a strike. The wind up the pitch, here it is. Please, and he fouls it back, and he really had a rip. Downing had a good pitch to hit, man, and he really whacked at it, but fouled it back. 2 strikes in the ball. 7-5 in favor of Toronto. We're in the top of the 6th. Right-hand hitter digging in. Be ready up there. Infield playing back. Now to wind up the pitch. Here it is. He didn't mean to swing. He fouled it back, and I'm glad he touched it because he could have been called out on strikes on that pitch. 2 strikes in the ball. Johnson was gambling he could get the fastball by him.
He generally pecks away with 2 strikes to get you in a hole. He'll keep throwing that ball outside to make it chase a bad ball.
Now Jerry Johnson ready. Into the windup, the pitch. Here it is. Oh, popped it up on the infield in foul territory. That'll be an easy out. McKay, the third base. Anything but that. But here's Ralph Garr. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Downing popped up.
You know, when you make $100,000, you got to hit in this situation.
You don't drive too many runs.
Got to do it. I got to do it right now.
Here's Garr with the bases loaded, 2 outs. 7-5 in favor of Toronto. Now to wind up the pitch. Hey, a smash right back to the mound. He didn't know he had it. Garr throws his helmet all over the place. He hit a hot shot. Jerry Johnson in self-defense stabbed it. Through the first and the out. 1 run. 2 hits. No errors. 3 left. 14 men stranded in 6 innings. They go now into the bottom of the 6th. Toronto 7, the White Sox our friends during the winter have asked me to try a beer there down the light. I really like the taste. It turned out to be Stroh's. I didn't know then that Stroh's would be our sponsor this year. For real beer drinkers like us, the taste is the thing. And Stroh's beer has much more, of course, like the finest ingredients and the unique fire brewing. But for one real beer lover to another, the taste is what brings you back to Stroh's again and again. Stroh's is my beer now, and I hope you'll make it yours. Stroh's beer made at the Stroh Brewery, Detroit, Michigan. They go to the bottom of the sixth. Rick Cerone leading it off. A ball and a strike to count. Now the line to pitch. Low. Boy, what a tough break the White Sox got. With the bases loaded, Garr hit a shot. Jerry Johnson, the pitcher, didn't even see it. It bounced right into his glove. And he threw the batter out. 2 balls and a strike. Line drive base hit. Into the corner, extra bases. Cerone pulls up at second with a double. Boy, I tell you, they're hitting Barrios just as hard as they hit Brett.
He wasn't throwing good. He's not exerting himself. Maybe it's because he's cold and he's used to pitching in hot weather all winter long in his spring training, but his ball's not doing anything. He's easy to pick up.
Well, I wish they'd get somebody else ready then. Get somebody to try somebody else.
No score, Jerry. Everything's broken down. The whole park is.
The pitch. Curveball low and outside. This is figuring up the runners on base in each inning for the White Sox. Now Barrios getting set.
Hamilton warming up and a right-hander on the 2. I'll get the right-hander. Looks like LeGros.
Now the stretch. 2 strikes and a ball. The pitch. He holds up in time, and the slider's outside. The White Sox had 4 base runners in the first inning. 4 in the second, 3 in the third, 2 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth, 4 in the sixth. 19 base runners in 6 innings and have scored 5 runs. Strike 3 called to Scott. Good breaking slider. Scott is caught out on strike. He's 0 for 4. That brings up Jim Mason, the shortstop. 1 out, a man in scoring position. Mason walked as a pinch hitter in the 4th.
The shortstop, Jim Mason.
Left-hand batter up there. Soto's never hit much of an average. But as long as you swing that bat, you're dangerous. That's just about it. There's a pitch swung on, a high fly ball. It should be caught. Garr in left field, and he has it. We're gone. And here's Ault, who's been the hero today.
And tomorrow, too, he's here.
He'll run for Prime Minister tomorrow.
Hey, Harry, don't they have tea they drink up here? Why don't they bring us some? Here's purple.
I'd settle for a nice cold bottle of Stroh's. That'll make you warm inside. 2 men are out. They stop Ault only in the 4th inning when Bannister turned a base hit into a double play with an unbelievable stop. Now the stretch of pitch. Swung it in. Oh, what a cut he had. Boy, I think I'd have to knock a guy like this back a little bit, the way he's swinging.
Or stick it in his ribs.
I don't mean to hurt him.
But you're slowing down a little bit.
Why, certainly, he is just rushing at that ball. 2 men are out. Now Barrios gets set. The pitch. Slider outside. White Sox got to stop them. They've scored in every inning. Except this one. And this one's not over. 2 men are out. Man in scoring position. 7-5. The stretch the pitch. Swung and he fouled it back. Oh, I think he tried to change up on him. It didn't seem to fool Ault at all. He had a good cut at it. 2 strikes in the ball. Right-hand hitter digging in. Barrios is ready. The pitch. Low outside. That evens it up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. We're in the 6th. On a cold, snowy day in Toronto. Right-hand batter waits. Now the signal. Barrios. At the belt. The pitch. Half swing, they foul back. Doug Ault, who used to be with the Texas Rangers. They have those kind of reports on this fella in Texas.
A pesky hitter with good power if you make a mistake, and of course I think we've made a couple of mistakes on it today.
2 balls, 2 strikes on a couple others too. Now the sign. Barrios pitches, and it's outside. Ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Boy, if they're going to get it over, have something on it.
The first base open, too.
3 balls, 2 strikes. All digs in. Barrios ready. All the big guy. The pitch. A little tap. It's going to go. They're letting it roll, foul. He tapped the ball. Had it stayed fair, he had a base hit. But they let it roll, and fortunately it went foul. I say fortunately, depending on what happens on this next pitch. Because this guy is dangerous up there. I wouldn't mind if he threw ball 4 right here.
Monroe and Hamilton really they're working fast on it, trying to get ready, because it's cold. Hamilton tells me he throws about 30 pitches.
3 balls, 2 strikes. And the bottom of the 6th, with Toronto leading the White Sox 7-5. Now the sign. Barrios is ready. The pitch. Ball 4. And here's Otto Velez now. He singled on Barrios in the 5th. Runners at first and second, 2 gone. Was charged with the first 5 runs. Barrios with the other 2. So here's Velez. Barrios hardly hesitates at the belt at all. It could technically be called on the ball.
A lot of pitchers are doing that nowadays. They're getting away with it. Once they stop it, everybody will stop. But Keon is really bad at it.
5 runners at first and second. Barrios getting ready. The pitch. Inside, ball 1. Gary Woods on deck. Let's hope he doesn't come up. There are 2 out. Right-hand hitter waiting. Cerone a lead at second base. Now the pitch. Good fastball. A strike call. He had some zip on that. A ball and a strike.
If we're going to stay in this game, he's got to get this guy out.
It's one of those situations. Now the delivery. Low outside, ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Barrios came into the ball game in the 4th. It's his 3rd inning in relief. Because he pitched all 3 outs in the 4th inning. We're at the bottom of the 6th. The pitch. Ball is high. 3 balls and a strike. Larry LaGrell is down in the bullpen.
Now your outfield's got to move around 3-1 like this.
The spacious outfield. On the side. From the belt. The pitch. Ball forward, the bases are loaded. That brings up Gary Woods. There's another score for you. At the end of 7, Kansas City 6, Detroit 4. At the end of 3, the Yankees 1, Milwaukee 0. At the end of 4, Texas 1, Baltimore 1. At the end of 4, the Red Sox 3, Cleveland 0. At the end of 6, St. Louis 6, Pittsburgh 3. At the end of 3, the Cubs 1, the Mets 1. So the bases are loaded, 2 out. That's the third walk given up by Barrios. You get this man out, you're still in the ball game. If he gets a hit, you're just about out of the ball game. Bases jammed, 2 out. Gary Woods. The pitch. Swings and he fouls it back. Twice he has bunted. Once he beat it out. A lot of helicopters around. 2 men up. Right-hand hitter digging in. Bases loaded. Barrios has got to get this fella. Gary Woods, right-hand hitter, the pitch. Fastball inside, just barely missed with it. Woods out of the Oakland organization. Hit 308 for Tucson last year. A ball and a strike. Now Barrios is ready. The pitch. Oh, he missed ball 2. He's struggling. And a fastball pitcher against this guy, Gary Woods. They got Larry LeGrell and Dave Hamilton in the bullpen. I figure it's a little too early for the LeGrell. 2 balls and a strike. Base hit here, it'll be too late. Sorry, going to say the same thing. Here's the pitch. Long drive into center field, Lemon waiting. Makes the catch to retire the side. That ball was just right on the front. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 3 men left. This is Harry Carey. Going to move back over to the television booth. Jimmy Pearsall and Lauren will be with you. The score here at the end of 6 remains Toronto 7, the White Sox 5.
Pearsall with Harry Carey and Lauren Brown back in Toronto with the score of 7-5. The Blue Jays leading in the top of the 7th. The White Sox with a chance to try to score at the bases loaded. Garr hit a shot right back at the pitcher. He didn't even know he had it. He put his glove down, and there it was. And the White Sox are out of the inning. Right now, though, so Alan Bannister will go to the plate. He's got 1 hit. He drove in a run in the 2nd inning. He's 1 for 4. Bannister playing a sensational shortstop, making 2 great plays, turning 1 into a double play to get us out of a jam. Jerry Johnson delivers. Fastball, strike 1. McKay at 3rd. Mason playing short in place of Torres. Doug Ault, young man with 2 home runs, playing first base. 1 strike pitch. Ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Top of the 7th inning. White Sox with 13 hits. They've left 15 men on base. Haven't made an error. The 1-1 delivery. Breaking ball. D. Right. And a real slow curveball like a blooper pitch. Johnson, a veteran, been around a long time. Played in the big leagues for about 9 years before he went back to the minors. Came up to San Diego towards the end of the season. The 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball outside. Coaching at 3rd base, Bobby Knopf. White Sox are wanting to start something right now to get back in this ball game. They've scored 2 in the 1st and 2 in the 2nd, 1 in the 6th. They need 2 to tie it. The 2-2 pitch, swung on a fly ball in center field. Center field Woods back. He stands and now takes it in his track. The outfield and the infield now is dried up somewhat. They've had a lot of snow here today for a baseball game, and prior to game time they were having quite a bit of difficulty getting the infield all around home plate, first base dried out. Orta stepped in. Orta's 0 for 4. great spring, and the first pitch is outside, ball one. Seventh inning, on deck, Richie Zisk. There's a pitch swung on, fouled off to the left side, a line drive in the stands. The stands here are not covered along the first base line and third base line, but out in left field, they must have had a track here at one time or something, because it certainly looks like a horse race stable out here. The pitch is swung on. No, he picked it. 2 balls and 1 strike. Jorge Orta looking for his first base hit of the year. Garcia deep at second base. Outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. You can play real deep on this artificial turf because the ball will scoot. Most infielders with a great arm play awfully deep. Now, Ault moves back a few steps to first base. The 3-1 pitch from Johnson. Ball 4, and Orta's on now with 1 out, 1 base on ball. Richie Zisk, who hit a home run first time at bat in the American League. He hit dead center field over the 400-foot line over both times. Then he doubled a line drive off the left field wall for an RBI. Struck out in the 4th, and they got a base hit in the 6th and scored a run. Zisk, down at the end of the bat. Johnson at the stretch. Had the ground ball between third. That ball wasn't hit too good, but got right in the hole for a base hit. So Zisk having 4 hits to start things off for him in the American League. Jim Spencer. Spencer single in the first. It's back to the pitcher. Single to center field in the 4th and walked. So he's 2 for 3. Hit a long drive foul his last time up with a couple of men on base down the right field line. See Hamilton warming up. Left-hander. The Grower sits down now.
Number 3, the first baseman, Jim Spencer.
Nestor Shylock behind the plate. Cerone, the young catcher, having a good day, both defensively and offensively. Got a couple of base hits. Jerry Johnson given up a run in 2 innings and 4 hits. Runners with their lead. Johnson looks back at second base and fires a fastball outside. As Vukovic warms up in the bullpen. Spencer steps out. On deck, Oscar Gamble. Johnson shakes off one sign. The right-hander, 6'1". He's at the belt. Now he delivers. Fastball fouled off. Now it's going back in. First baseman's going to take it. The catcher's coming out. First baseman, nobody takes it. The ball is blown back by the dugout. The catcher was going over after it. The first baseman was coming in, and all of a sudden, nobody took it. It's a play where the first baseman has got to call the catcher off if he can get it. But he was playing so deep, he wasn't able to get close to it. So a break for Jim Spencer on a ball that should have been caught, and the count goes to 1-1. There's 1 out. We're at the top of the 7th. The score is 7-5. Blue Jays are winning. They scored in every inning except the 6th inning. They've got 12 hits. Made a couple of errors. Orta down at second. He's on a walk. Johnson shakes off a sign, looks back at Orta. There's a breaking ball hit. Back to the pitcher. He's up with it and fires over to first base and gets it. As Spencer fooled on a breaking ball, hits it off the end of the bat. Johnson off the mound, picks it up and fires the first as both runners move up. Oscar Gamble. Had an RBI the last time up. He walked it the first time up, struck out in the 3rd, walked in the 4th. He's 1 for 2 now with an RBI. Gamble with great power, hit 17 home runs last year for the Yankees. Base hit right now, tie this ball game up. Garcia really deep at second base. You'll never see a second baseman any deeper. There's a pitch swung on, off to the left side. Over comes McKay. Over comes the shortstop. McKay's over and takes it for out number 3. A beautiful catch by McKay. And the White Sox don't score. And the score after 6.5 innings of play, the Blue Jays 7, the White Sox 5.
In the last pitch, this is WMAQ Chicago.
Jimmy Pearsall with Harry Carey, Lauren Brown, and we're in the bottom of the 7th inning. The White Sox lost the chance to tie things up. When with men on second and third, Oscar Gamble popped up in foul territory. A nice catch by McKay, the third baseman. And Johnson not throwing too hard for that ball club, certainly getting away with murder. If we can hold him right there, there's no doubt in my mind we could catch him because he can't fool a hitter that much. Steve Hamilton now is on relief. Barrios.
Number 20, the right fielder,
Al Wood, right fielder. He hit a home run, pinch hitting. Drove in a run. Last year he played with Tacoma. Hamilton takes his sign and fires a fastball right down the middle, strike one. Outfield, around towards right, big hole in left center field. Soderholm off the bag at third. Bannister playing a great shortstop, playing straight away. The one strike delivery, sidearm, curveball outside, ball one. One ball and a strike. Nobody out, bottom of the seventh. Blue Jays leading 7-5. Crowd of about 35,000 on hand. There's another breaking ball misses. As Hamilton goes through his breaking stuff the last two pitches. Coaching at third base for the Blue Jays, Jackie Moore. At first base, Harry Warner. The 2-1 pitch. Fastball, call strike, hits the outside corner, and Wood doesn't like it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lemon straight away in center. Lemon having a little difficulty playing the center field pasture out there. Day of overcast and snow and bad background. There's a pitch swung out, hit off to the left side, foul. It's 330 down the right field line, 375 to right center, 400 to dead center, 375 to left center. Ball seemed to carry pretty good. Doug Ault has hit a couple of home runs. Woods hit one. And so is Richie Zisk. There's a fastball, just misses as the count goes full to 3-2. 3 balls and 2 strikes. As Hamilton tries to peck at the corner as Vukovich is warming up in the bullpen for Toronto. The 3-2 pitch. Steve right, 3, he took it. So Hamilton strikes out the first guy he faced. And that'll bring up a guy who's been hitting pretty well, Pedro Garcia. Garcia with 2 hits and an RBI. Single in the second, double in the eighth when Lemon couldn't see the ball and let it fall, and it bounced high over his head, and Richie Zisk had to feel it. The 1 pitch swung on a line drive into left center field for a base hit. Garr over, picks it up. 3 base hits for Pedro Garcia, who last year couldn't get 3 hits in a month. He was with Milwaukee and Detroit. It's 217 and 198 for both ball clubs. Dave McKay, young favorite here. This young man is from Canada. He's come over from the Minnesota Twins. He played at Tacoma last year. Hit 268. Got a couple of base hits. He's 2 for 3. At the belt now is Hamilton. Looks over at the runner, Garcia. Kicks, delivers, ground ball out towards short. Bannister up with it, fires over to Orta. Orta can't get it out of his glove. Kind of a slow roller out towards short that Bannister fielded perfectly, flipped to Orta, but Orta not being able to get out of his glove. The double play wasn't completed, so it's the first forced play. 6-4. Number 9, Rick Cerone. Got a couple of base hits, a double and a single. Spring training, he hit 45, but he's hitting about 800 against us right now. Hamilton shakes off a sign from Downey. He looks over at first. Left-hander delivers. Ground ball up towards short. Over goes Soderholm. Fires over to second base for the out. So, Toronto, we finally get them out easy, and they don't score. And at the end of 7 innings of play, it's the Toronto Blue Jays 7, the White Sox 5.
I got it. My favorite quintuplet.
Everybody, Lauren Brown back at Exhibition Stadium in Toronto. And Pete Vukovich, a former White Sox hurler, is pitching for Toronto here in the 8th inning. Jerry Johnson went 2 in the 3rd innings, allowed 1 run on 3 hits. He walked 2 and he struck out 1. So the White Sox will have an opportunity now to work against their former teammate. They'll have the bottom half of the order up. Numbers 7, 8, and 9 hitters, Soderholm, Lemon, and Downey. So they are assured of getting the top of the order up no later than the 9th inning. The Sox have stranded 16 men today. It's got to get some timely hits with men on base. That's what Toronto has done. They've clubbed 3 homers, 2 of them with a man on. accounting for 5 of their 7 runs. A right-hander and a left-hander are up in the Toronto bullpen as Eric Soderholm leads it off. First pitch by Vukovic, a fastball for a strike. Soderholm is 2 for 4 today, a pair of singles and an RBI. Vuk in the windup delivers down low ball. White Sox lost 2 players in that expansion draft, and that's really sad to see go. Bill Stein, who went 2 for 4 for Seattle last night with a pair of doubles, and this fellow. Soderholm a swing and a miss. Vukovic had an ERA of 3.67 in spring training, 19 2/3 innings. He was 0-2 in the spring. Soderholm swings and misses. He struck him out with a breaking ball on the outside corner. So there's 1 out. And the batter is Chet Lemon. He is grounded out, struck out twice, and walked. And a fastball low. We're in the 8th inning. It's getting late in Toronto, and not any warmer. Vukovic ready. Here's the pitch. Called strike. Evens the count up at 1-1. Well, I knew the minute Vukovic was up in the bullpen that it was him, even though it's a little distance away here. Here's a pitch inside, almost hit him. Because Vuk works in a hurry. He gets that ball, and he wants to come right back at you. Doesn't give you a chance to set up. Lemon stayed out of the box for a bit now to slow him down. Here's the 2-1 delivery. Called strike in the outside corner, 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swinging a bouncer foul to Bobby Knopp in the coach's box at third. Boy, you really got to admire these Canadians. They have stuck it out most of the way. I'd say maybe now there are about 20,000 left. Some just left a bit ago, but up through the 5th inning, everybody was here that come originally, it looked like. Here's a swing and a foul. He really fooled him. And Lemon just got a piece of it. They never have given the attendance, have they, Danny? I haven't heard any given. 44,000, it was a sellout before the game. Kansas City beat the Detroit Tigers 7-4 today. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Tops it foul right back to the screen. Boston leads Cleveland 3-1 in the 8th inning. Texas and Baltimore tied up 1-1 in the 7th. St. Louis leading Pittsburgh 6-1 at the end of 6 innings of play. Still don't know how the... Here's a swing and a miss. He struck him out. Well, you wonder why I say I was sorry to see Vukovic go. There's 2 good reasons right there. He has looked better than anybody who has pitched today. Pardon?
He's the only one throwing the ball hard all day.
Well, I'll tell you what. He's got a tiger in his tank. He comes out there ready to get you. He is really aggressive on that mound. And the batter is Brian Downing. Downing takes the fastball for a strike. Called strike 2. Here's the 2-strike pitch up high, a ball. 2 strikes, right-hander in the windup. Here's the pitch. Up high, a ball, 2-2. Pete Vukovic, the 3rd pitcher employed by Toronto. Youngster from Conemaugh, Pennsylvania. Just outside Johnstown. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Low, a ball. So this is the first time he's had a full count on anybody. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Right-hander ready. The 3-2 pitch. All 4, he walked him. Vukovic comes off the mound. He thought he had caught the corner in the knees. So now the tying run comes up in the form of Ralph Garr. Ralph, however, goes back to the dugout. He'd been out there, and I don't know if he went back just to get a towel. I'll tell you, the last time Ralph was up, he hit a shot that the pitcher didn't realize he had. Otherwise, this ball game would not be in favor of Toronto by 2. So Ralph went back, wiped the bat off, and now comes out. And that was the only time that Ralph was not on base. He has walked. He's gotten on in an air. He's got 2 hits. And he is grounded out. Actually, not a ground out. He just lined right to the pitcher. Here's the pitch. Here's a swing and a foul. Ralph 2 for 4. White Sox have out-hit the Blue Jays 14 to 13. I think that's the thing that's impressed me is the fact they've got 13 hits. And they have really waylaid the ball today. 2 home runs by Doug Ault, a pitch home run by Al Woods in his first major league time at bat. Here's the 1-strike pitch. Swing and a miss. Boy, he took something off of that, and Garr looked like he was about 10 feet in front of that pitch. To Garr. Vukovic taking his time now. Up with the glove, down to the waist. Here's the pitch. Here's a swing and a drive into left field. It's going to drop in there for a base hit. Downing will hold at second. So on a 2-strike pitch, Garr slices it into left field, and we're going to have a pinch hitter for Alan Bannister. Looks like Niles Nyman, a left-handed hitter. And that's who it will be. So after Vukovic struck out 2 men, he walked Downing, and Garr gets his 3rd hit of the afternoon. So the tying runs are on base again. Well, the White Sox stranded 2 in the first, 2 in the second, 3 in the third, 2 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth, 3 in the sixth, and 2 in the seventh. And now have 2 men on now. Nordbrook loosening up down the right side. He'll come into play shortstop. Niles Nyman will pinch hit here. This is Niles' first appearance since a year ago. He was in 8 games for the White Sox.
Your attention, please.
Then hit only 133, then went to Des Moines where he hit 282. They've introduced him as Nils Nyman, which is easy to do. Niles, N-Y-L-S. L-E-S. No, I was right the first time. N-Y-L-S. Here's a pitch. Here's a swing and a grounder right to the first baseman. He's got it. And that retires the side. Niles Nyman went after the first pitch and grounded out to the first baseman. And the White Sox strand 2 more. They have stranded 18 today. In the 8th, no runs, 1 hit, no errors.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention.
2 men left on. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Toronto 7, the White Sox 5.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. Now playing shortstop for Chicago.
Lauren Brown back at Toronto. Tim Nordbrook has come in to play shortstop. The attendance here this afternoon at freezing 32 degrees with snow flurries. 44,649. 44649. John Scott will lead it off, the number 1 hitter in the order. He'll be followed by Jim Mason and Doug Ault. Dave Hamilton on the mound. Working his 2nd inning, he's allowed no runs, 1 hit, and he has struck out a man. Here's the first pitch to Scott, a swing and a foul. Jackie Moore, the 3rd base coach, goes and gets it. White Sox were out in front 4-1, then they fell behind 7-4, and now it's 7-5 with 1 more shot to go in the ninth. Here's the 1-strike pitch. Inside a ball, evens the count up at 1-1. Well, no baseball tomorrow. But there will be Saturday and Sunday afternoon here on WMAQ Radio. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Good curveball for a strike. Danny, what's the latest on the Blackhawks? When are they playing next? They're playing tonight. Is it going to be on neutral ice or at New York? At New York. Left-hander ready. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Here's a swing and a long drive. Going way back. It is off the wall. And going in with a double is John Scott. Ralph Garr went way back, got to the edge of the wall, and I don't really think he knew where he was at. He just reached up his glove and the ball bounced over. It looked like a ball that should have been caught at the wall, but as is, it turns into a double. Red Blackhawk game tonight here on WMAQ.
Number 10, the shortstop,
Jim Mason, the batter. 0 for 1. Left-hander ready. Here's the pitch, and it's outside a ball. One ball and no strikes. Toronto threatening here in the 8th inning. Left-hander ready. Here's the pitch. A bunt out in front of the mound. Third baseman goes to third. Oh, they missed the tag. Hamilton looked like he had a perfect throw to Soderholm. And Scott slid under it. Hamilton and Downing a little upset. Soderholm did not argue a bit, so apparently he missed the tag. And at first base is Mason. He gets it on a fielder's choice. And the batter is Doug Ault. All he has done today is hit 2 home runs, driven in 3 runs, walked, and hit a scorching line drive that Alan Bannister fortunately turned over for a double play. Well, the situation could be worse than it is right now. Hamilton ready. Left-hander delivers. Here's the pitch. Low a ball. Activity in the White Sox bullpen. Laren LeGros, a right-hander, acquired from the Cardinals, will start loosening up. Hamilton, in his 2nd inning of relief, is in trouble. Brett went 3 innings. Barrios went 3 innings. Here's the pitch. Here's a swing and a smash of Mason up the middle. 1 run is in, and Mason holds at second. Doug Ault has just driven in his 4th run of the afternoon, and it's an 8-5 ball game. Oh, this kid is something. At 300, while he was up with Texas at the end of the season last year, after hitting .313 with 25 homers and 83 RBIs at Sacramento. A lot of young talent on this club that had great years in AAA, and they have not been fazed at all by this large gathering here in Toronto or the pressures of being the first American League club in Canada. And now Bob Lemon comes out of the White Sox dugout, and we may have a pitching change here in Toronto. And a lot of right-handers due up. Hamilton in a discussion with Lemon, Downing, Soderholm. White Sox can't afford to allow any more runs here with only 1 more crack at the Blue Jays. That coming in the 9th inning. Last year, the White Sox won their opener 4-0 over Kansas City, and that's going to be all for Dave Hamilton. So Hamilton pitches 1 complete inning. He's allowed 1 run on 3 hits. He didn't walk anybody, and he struck out a man. But the runners at 1st and 2nd are his responsibility. And Laren LeGros comes into the contest, making his 1st appearance as a White Sox pitcher. However, he is not unfamiliar to the American League, having pitched for the Detroit Tigers in part of 70, 72, 73, and all of 74 and 75, and then going over to the Cardinals a year ago. So he'll get in his warm-up tosses here in Toronto, and as he does, let's tell you what we've got. In baseball, the ticker is messed up here in Toronto. Detroit defeated Kansas City 7-4. Boston over Cleveland 3-1 at the end of 8. Texas and Baltimore in the 7th tied up 1-1. The Cardinals out in front of Pittsburgh 6-1 at the end of 6. on that Cub game is 1-1 at the end of 3 against the Mets. I'm sure that's a lot further along, but apologize, but the pickers are not working in Canada. Larry LeGros comes in. He pitched at Tulsa in the American Association a year ago, where he won 6 and lost 10. And he was 0-1 for the St. Louis Cardinals, making his first appearance as a member of the White Sox. Big kid, 6'5", 230 pounds, born in Phoenix, Arizona. Originally the property of the Detroit Tigers. So the first man that he will face will be Otto Velez, the designated hitter. 1 for 3 today, and he is also walked. Well, it's funny here. All the people yelling they want beer. This ball club is owned by one of the largest, if not largest, breweries in Canada, Labatt's. LeGros is ready, working out of a stretch in the first pitch. And it goes off the chest protector of Brian Downing and off to the left, ball 1. Velez is shortened up to bunt. A run is in, runners are at first and second, nobody out. The Blue Jays have scored in 6 of the 8 innings played today. 1 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the third, 1 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth, and 1 here in the 8th. Right-hander delivers. And it's low, ball 2. In the 9th inning, the White Sox will have Orta, Zisk, and Spencer. Well, that's why that 1 run here really hurts, because if you can get Orta on, you've always got that shot of Zisk pumping one out of here to try to tie it up. But as it is now, the Sox are down by 3, and Toronto threatening. 2-0 pitch. Cut it. Out in front of the plate. Oh, and Spencer and Downing collide. And the bases are loaded. Charging in, and the ball is only about 10 feet down the line towards first. Definitely Brian's ball. Orta had covered first on the play, and the 2 collide. And it'll go. I presume it's got to as an infield hit. And the bases are loaded, nobody out. Well, it really hurt. Threatening. 2-0 pitch. Cut it. Out in front of the plate. Oh, and Spencer and Downing collide. And the bases are loaded. Spencer came charging in, and the ball is only about 10 feet down the line towards first. Definitely Brian's ball. Orta had covered first on the play, and the 2 collide. And it'll go. I presume it's got to as an infield hit. And the bases are loaded, nobody out. 2 Chicago players collided. So it's a hit, the bases are loaded, nobody out, and here is Gary Wood. 1 for 4 on the day. Long fly ball into the 6th inning with the bases loaded then for Toronto. First pitch to him, ball 1. Trying to break through those dark clouds overhead. Second pitch. And he's low for ball 2. 2-0 now. As LeGros has got himself into a real jackpot here with nobody out of the bases full. The bottom of the 8th inning. Hit to the shortstop. They got 1. They got 2, but a run scored. And the Blue Jays are on top 9-5.
as Jim Mason comes in from third base. And the batter's going to be Al Wood.
He have a replay. Perfect double play ball. Shortstop gets it over to second base. Otto Velez went in real hard, but he couldn't get there in time to break up the double play. Now we'll have another view of it.
Mason scoring the 9th Blue Jays run. Al Wood, first pitch to called strike. Off to third base. 2 away. Inside, almost got away from a very alert Brian Downing.
That's the correct word, Don. He is very quick back there, and I can see why he only had that one pass ball in 1976.
Right-hander deal. Ball 2. 2-1. Coaching at third base is Jackie Moore for Toronto. Harry Warner coaching at first base. Blue Jays on a happy line right now. Hit foul into the seat.
You hear what those fans are hollering now, Don? We're number 1.
Without beer.
And if they can get the White Sox out in the top of the 9th, the Toronto Blue Jays are going to be in first place.
They will have a perfect season going for them. They won their first preseason game, too, in Florida against the New York Mets 3-1. Takes the ball 3. Full count 3-2 to Al Wood. He had a homer in his first appearance at bat in the Major League back in the 5th inning to get the Blue Jays into a lead. Well, strike 3 on him, and that ends the inning. A pitch to top the outside corner a little high. But they push across 2 more runs, and so the score at the end of 8 full innings is the Blue Jays 9, the White Sox 5. Ladies and gentlemen, Toronto's first victory. Leading off for the White Sox to the top of the 9th. Number Jorge Orta, the second baseman, will lead off. Richie Zisk and Jim Spencer are due to follow him. First pitch to him is a ball. Both ball 1. Orta, he has hit this today. He's blocked 1.
Vukovich missed with his second pitch. The one thing you don't want to do with a 4-run lead in the 9th inning is put any men on base with a walk.
Third pitch, that's strike inside. So it's 2-1. Vukovich looking quickly again, low for a ball 3. Well, there's a fan with a hat that isn't very warm necessarily, but certainly decorative for this, the first game the Blue Jays have played at Exhibition Stadium. And here's the man now with the save in his hand, Pete Vukovich. 3 wins, 3 strikeouts away from Toronto's first victory.
Leading off for the White Sox to the top of the 9th. Number 6,
Jorge Orta, the second baseman, will lead off. Richie Zisk and Jim Spencer are due to follow him. First pitch to him is a ball. Both ball 1. Orta, he has hit this today. He's blocked 1.
Vukovich missed with his second pitch. The one thing you don't want to do with a 4-run lead in the 9th inning is put any men on base with a walk.
Third pitch, that's strike inside. So it's 2-1. Vukovich looking quickly again, low for a ball 3. There's the look down to the third base coach, Bobby Knopf, for the signal as to what they're going to do. They want him on. Swings at it, breaks the pitch to Vukovich. An easy out to off. 1 away.
I'm very surprised Jorge Orta swung at that 3-1 pitch. 4 runs behind in the 9th inning. Kind of think that maybe, he should take a pitch and see if he can get that baseball ball.
Here's the power in the White Sox batting order.
the right fielder, Richie Zisk.
He has himself 4 hits, a pair of singles, a 2-base hit, and a home run in 5 appearances. Swings the first pitch, fouls it on. Cerone's got the mask off. He might have had some dirt fly off at his face. be all right. This is a young man of the plate, Richie Zisk, that command all kinds of respect from American League pitchers. Vukovic deals to him and swings and misses for strike two.
I think what made Richie Zisk is such a good hitter over the last few years, he can hit to all fields.
He struck him out. The Toronto Blue Jays are 1 out away from their first victory.
Don, I think we're going to hit quite a roar if they can get this next batter out. These fans have just been great today. They're really pulling for these young Toronto Blue Jays.
Number 3, the first baseman.
Chicago's last hope is Jim Spencer, the first baseman. He's got a pair of base hits and 5 at bats. Vukovic, very strong in relief of Jerry Johnson, who'll get the win. First pitch, swung on, left field. God can't get to him. Johnson's past him, and Spencer will take 2. Johnson's just a foot or so away from the third out, but waited too long on the ball.
I think he should have caught the ball, really, Don. It looked like he was going to catch it easy, and then all of a sudden he went down with that glove, and maybe we'll see a replay of it. But
he came awfully close to it,
yeah,
off the end of his glove. So they charged him with an error.
Number 7.
Designated hitter with a man on second base, Jim Spencer. Vukovic pitches to him. Ground ball to the shortstop. Up with it. Blue Jays win it. The Metro Chairman right down there on the field applauding this Toronto Blue Jay baseball team.
5 runs, 15 hits. They committed no.
So the Blue Jays score 9 runs, 16 hits, committed 3 errors. The White Sox 5 runs, 15 hits, and no errors. The Toronto wins it 9-5.
The loser is West. And the
Jerry Johnson gets the win, and the Chicago starter Ken Bradish starts for the line. 44,649 appreciative Blue Jay fans at Exhibition Stadium for this opening day victory.
A reminder once again that the Blue Jays...
Well, there are stars in this game today. A lot of players who made a fine contribution for the Toronto Blue Jays. I don't think anybody made a better one than the man who hit 2 home runs, Doug Ault. He's with Palmachie right now. But we'll be talking to him in just a moment as they get organized on the field. This is Major League Baseball 77.
All across Canada, people are joining in on community activities.
This is the day of the big race. Just to go over the rules quickly one more time. The rider must be covered, and the team pushers cannot exceed 4 in number. Okay, away they go. The annual bed race is on.
Of times and the best of beer. Labatt's 50. You can't say beer any better.
So the Toronto Blue Jays are now in the American Baseball League and on a very positive and winning note, Doug Ault, by beating the Chicago White Sox 9-5. And hey, you kept them in there when things looked a little bleak, not only the weather, but the way you were playing against the Chicago White Sox, and you cracked out those 2 home runs. Nobody looked happier than you did when you came back to the dugout.
Well, I tell you, Tom, it's a good feeling anytime you get 2 hits, much less 2 home runs. And I'm just glad that I was fortunate enough to help the team and to keep us in the ball game. And I'm just glad that we won the home opener for the Toronto fans here. They're just super.
Listen, you were telling us that you, although you were hitting hitting a few home runs down south in Florida in spring training, you were not happy with you weren't getting the line drives you wanted. I thought you don't need any line drives. You can come up with this stuff all the time.
Well, Tom, as you know, I'm sure, the home runs are going to come really very scarcely. They're not going to come that too often. And when you're not hitting home runs or you're not hitting the long ball, you want to be sharp on the ball anyway and hitting line drives. And in spring training, started out, I hit a few home runs, but the other balls I was hitting, I wasn't really getting good wood on them, so I had a little concern over that. But as it worked out today, I eye on the ball, and everything worked out all right.
What was the feeling in the clubhouse like just before you came out?
Everybody was really up for the game. They really wanted to win. It was kind of a silent, quiet atmosphere. I think everybody was really getting ready in their own way. But as you know, there's a lot of people on this team that other Major League teams didn't protect. And I think that everybody has a feeling that they want to show somebody something, and also that we want to win for Toronto.
Well, we saw some excitement today. If that's any indication of what we can expect in our Major League Baseball Series 77 that's coming up over the next summer months, and along with the Montreal Expos, I tell you, we're in for a heck of a time.
I think so, too. I think that we're going to go out and play every game just like this. We had a lot of enthusiasm, and everybody really wants to win. And all we've been hearing all spring training is how we're going to lose 2/3 of our games. And then they asked us, oh, how many of the other third do you think you're going to win? You know, well, we don't feel that way. We feel that we can go out and win every day that we go out, no matter what team we're playing, and that's just the way we're going to take them.
Doug, I think my mental calisthenics up here tell me that if you keep this up, you hit something like 300 home runs this season. I hope it's somewhere near that. That'd be great. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tom.
Okay, now let's go back to Don Chevrier and Whitey Ford.
All right, Tom, and our congratulations we'd like to add to the young man who hit those 2 home runs for the Toronto Blue Jays. Remarkable win for this team. Adverse weather conditions, Whitey, to start the game. Then they fall behind 4-1. It looked to be maybe a long afternoon, but they put it together in a lot of areas.
Well, you're going to see that with a young team like the Toronto Blue Jays. They just didn't give up. I tell you, it was an exciting game to me. The pitching was a little shaky on both sides. Jerry Johnson and Vukovic pitched very well, but it was the kind of game I liked. There was extra base hits, some good fielding plays, a few stolen bases, and I think there was 4 home runs hit today.
Yes, 3 by the Blue Jays. Woods and, of course, Doug Ault getting the 2 back-to-back to excite this crowd here. As a great pitcher yourself, I'd like your analysis on how the Blue Jay pitchers look to you.
Well, like I said, the starting pitcher, Bill Singer, had a little trouble. He couldn't keep the ball down. He has to pitch low to be effective. Jerry Johnson struggled a few innings, but did a fine job. And then Vukovic come in and just closed the door on the White Sox. And some of the pitchers impressed me.
Well, they were throwing against a pretty good power. Certainly Zisk and Downing and some of those players in the Chicago White Sox lineup, Ralph Garr, they were throwing against some pretty experienced Major League hitting.
They were, and you mentioned the cold weather all day today, a little snow before the game started, and it's a little tough when your hands are cold out there to try and pitch and have good control. You might have a lot of speed on the ball, or it might break good, but it's a little tough to have good control in cold weather like this.
Well, nobody expects the Blue Jays to win the pennant, at least this year, but what has happened so far is remarkable. They won their very first exhibition game against the New York Mets. They beat the Montreal Expos the first 2 times they played their new Canadian arch rivals. They beat the Cincinnati Reds, who were missing only 1 player, Foster. In fact, they set up Johnny Bench to pinch hit in that game, and he hit into a double play, and the Blue Jays beat the Reds, the world champions, 9-8. So Toronto fans have got a lot to get excited about. The main thing is, I think, as you watch this team, they're capable of winning. They're also capable of making mistakes, which they will make. But I think their best potential is to give wide-open, exciting baseball to the fans.
I think they're going to do that, and they're going to look in that paper tomorrow and see they're in first place. And if they can get off to a fairly good start, it's just going to build more and more confidence in these young players. And I think you're going to have an exciting team here this year.
They put in 44,600 on a miserable day today, so you can imagine what's going to happen when the sun shines and the spring weather finally arrives here in Toronto. This team has the potential, I think, if they go well, to perhaps hit as high as 2 million in spectators in 77.
I think that can be done very easily, Don.
Well, they're off to a great start today on this win over the Chicago White Sox. The final score is the Blue Jays 9 and the Chicago White Sox 5.